winter sport. The summertime is over, so let's head down to the court. Time for the tip-off. Give me fast breaks on the attack. Will you shoot a three or take it to the rack? Basketball is back, Jack. It's a dream shake down in the post, or a killer cross you love the most. When the offense tries to run and gun, is it man-to-man or box and one? It's big plays and talking smack. That's how you know that basketball is back, Jack. Let me hear you say, basketball, basketball, basketball. Basketball is back, Jack. 360 dunks and pick and rolls. And we're gonna watch it every day till they raise the Larry O. Hard fouls and hook shots, a dagger three and hack a shack. If you say this game's the best, I'll say's a gag. Basketball is back, Jack. Basketball is back, Jack. Basketball is back. Basketball is back, Jack.
I have a problem.
What's your problem?
I have a huge problem. And it might sound very back in my day-ish, but hear me out here. I don't want to listen to anything anymore. I don't want to watch anything anymore. I want to read.
Why do you want to read?
I'm intrigued. Go on.
Heat have a big win last night on the road against the Clippers. Great end to that game. Norm Powell gets his revenge game, locks up Kawhi on the last play. Great fun, right? Great play. Bam Adebayo, 25 and 10.
That dude
Great
is
game.
aggressive.
They're running their offense. They ran the same set, I want to say, 4 or 5 times down the stretch. Clippers had no answers. You know what I wanted? I was like, you know what? Big win. Norm Powell, revenge game. I wonder what they said after the game. So I'm trying to find a transcript of the post-game comments. That way I can read, I can make notes, I can copy and paste, ready for the show. Everything is a YouTube video. I don't want to watch no video, man. I ain't got time for that. I want something I can look, read, refer back to, look away, look back at. Not like, oh, hold on, let me rewind it again. What do you say? Oh, yeah, he said that. I'm tired of this.
I got a little something for you.
Yes.
Wait till you find out about YouTube's transcripts feature. You go onto the transcripts and you read them, and they're long, yeah, but
Fair?
you get the whole thing. Yep.
No, it's not doing no weird, funky AI thing.
No.
Where it calls
It's
them
legit.
banned Adebayo or something like that.
Oh, no, sir. I also got a website to share with you that also you can pull YouTube transcripts from that I use often. Very nice.
Because I'll tell you a big deal for me. People are like, oh, did you so-and-so reported this? I'm like, well, I'm following them on Twitter. I'm reading I'm The Athletic. I'm into it. Like, where? They're like, oh, they said it on a podcast. I'm like, I'm not listening to a podcast. If it's not the Dan Le Batard Show, it's Stugotz. Or Cinephobe. Or Basketball Illuminati. Or Here's the Science, a Bar Rescue podcast.
And even those, you don't really listen. You talk in them.
I listen to Cinephobe every single episode.
After you record it?
Because it drops like weeks later. So,
But you lived it.
oh my God! But to relive it, mwah.
You're the Greg Cody of the day.
Oh my God!
Speaking of that, I don't know where he is.
Well, there's traffic because there's a big thing happening, and I'm
but
sure
the big thing's tomorrow, though. It's not today. It's tomorrow.
I can't wait.
it's like there's like a tidal wave. It's like a ripple that starts and it crests, and then on the other side of it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do the Dan thing and sit here and shame Greg Cody for not leaving earlier when he knew there was a huge event happening downtown.
All right, good. I'll be the one to do it then. So Greg is late like every week, all right? And this week in particular, we were specifically told today's election day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tomorrow the president is going to be here, okay?
Not here, but across the street.
Across
That's
the
here.
Kaseya Center.
That's here.
It's here,
all right?
bro.
Might start joining
That's
us.
here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we were specifically warned and given options, okay, as far as how to make sure we are here on time. Matter of fact, your boy Amin, that's me, I took the bright line.
Wow.
Same.
For the first time ever today.
How was it?
I liked it.
Did you get a little morning pop? You know, just something to get you in the mood a little bit?
Nah, you know, I took my seat. I wanted to make sure I was following directions, and I just enjoyed the quick ride, and then I got off and I walked on over here, all right? I liked the bright line. I'll probably do that again tomorrow. But even when it's normal, Cody is always late. God forbid he decides, instead of setting his alarm for whatever godforsaken time it is that he gets up in the morning, how about you do it 10 minutes earlier? 10 minutes earlier. And you want, I'm not getting up at this. 10 minutes earlier, and you won't be late. He refuses to not be late.
You would think he would get out of his tomb now that the sun comes out earlier.
It's crazy. It's crazy behavior.
I like the idea of one day maybe AI can do this for us, and we'll get to how much it sucks. In a bit. Hold on, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. But for right now, I'll say this. One day, AI will be good enough. Well, I'll say, can you remake Back to the Future for me? But instead of Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly, put Greg Cody. And you know, at the end of Back to the Future, spoiler alert, he's like, he knows the Doc gets shot. Doc doesn't want the note. So he's like, I'll show up 10 minutes early so I can warn him. Greg Cody will show up later. 10 minutes later after the Doc got
The Libyans
shot.
still kill Doc.
There's no punitive measures. At a certain point, you need to bench the center that keeps having the false start, guys.
No one's even asking him to be here for a production meeting.
No.
Just be here for the show.
Just be here in time.
I don't know.
In front of that microphone.
I don't know, man. I think sometimes you got a star player. You let the star player. Sometimes we hold that bus, man. Hold the bus a little bit.
Right, but is he a star player?
Ooh, now we're asking questions.
That's the right question.
Look,
to ask.
Is he coasting?
I
Is he
love
coasting on a
Greg Cody.
past resume?
He's a rotational guy. He's a great locker room guy. I think of him as like Udonis Haslam. His jersey's going to the Raptors. We could argue to build a statue for the man. But
You could also argue, what's he still doing here?
he's also not
Udonis
getting run.
Haslam.
In
Udonis
Greg's-
Haslam's MO is work ethic.
That's right.
In Greg's defense, I would argue this is more of a Kawhi Leonard situation.
Yeah,
Which is that
I'm
this
with
is
you.
a superstar, and when he's there, you're feeding him the ball. But he's in and out of the lineup, and you can even question why is
It's
he in and out of the
UD.
lineup.
It's
It's more of a
great point.
Joel Embiid
Wow,
situation.
really?
He's got like 20 minutes in him.
Okay, maybe more
It
Joel
can also be
Embiid.
Kawhi in that it's
Hold
a
on.
contract no one else wants.
What
they
about
took
this?
money on the side?
Hear me out on this. I hear Kawhi. I hear Joel Embiid. I raise you Zion Williamson.
Okay.
Where it's things where we're saying, you know what? Part of your unavailability is your doing.
See,
You have
I
to bear some
disagree.
responsibility. But when he's here, he's a star, man.
I disagree because
Throw that lob.
at least Zion this year, he decided to make a drastic change, which was he lost the weight.
Still hurt,
because
though.
He's
but at
also
least
done that 4 times.
he
All right,
made an
let's not
attempt.
pretend like we haven't seen the Zion looks in great shape
Yeah.
during training camp 4 times previously. And then what happens comes January.
Well, all them pictures of Coke,
Po' boys.
all them po' boys and beignets and all that stuff.
A whole pitcher of
My,
Coke.
my
huh?
oh man, it was one of the craziest stories I ever heard. It's not recent. It was like a couple years ago, but still, I was like, how?
Like when they brought it to the table, did they try to put it at the center of the table? Or it's just like, no, that's right here.
Yes, yeah.
That's
Why
mine.
don't you just leave this right here? I'll take care of the rest of this.
Could have been diet.
Maybe. Okay.
Diet's not
well,
bad.
perhaps.
A zero. Coke
But
zero.
A pitcher?
Did he drink it straight out the pitcher? Because it's just for him.
He put a little straw in the pitcher. Actually, it's like
Like a cartoon character?
like a cartoon character. Just
There's no sharesies. It's just for him.
It's up there. If I had read the story rather than hear it firsthand, I would have thought
That's
it
your
was.
move. You want to read it.
Well, yeah. If I read it, then I'm like, okay, now I'm in. But I heard the story. But I heard the story from not like on a podcast. I heard it in real life
from a source.
Yeah, so this is me doing reporting, kind of, sort of, not really. But the other part of it, the first thing I thought of was, do you guys remember the Kawhi Leonard Apple Time story? Which is still
That story is true. I don't care what they say.
That's
right.
Mike, to this day, I'm on the radio on Sirius XM NBA Radio, which you can catch me and Jason Jackson Sundays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
Jason Jackson.
Jackson, if you're nasty. When people call and, all right, call, you're on the air, and it's like, hey, guys, how's it going? Which they do, which Dan outlawed years and years ago on this show, but people still do it on other radio shows. Every time someone asks me how I'm doing, my response always is Apple time. And I just wait to see if anyone notices. To this day, no one ever say, wait, what'd you say? Everyone's just like, oh, yeah, that's great. Like, but the Kawhi Leonard Apple Time story is the purest example of I want to believe, right? When we talk about fake stories, right, made-up stories, there was a story yesterday about a certain collegiate executive being ejected from a game. And
I like that story.
Turns out it wasn't real, but the reason why people thought it was real and ran with it was because they want to believe. They want to believe.
But the account was followed by Joe Shad.
Yeah, it's all Joe Shad's fault.
He's not willy-nilly with his follows.
What's the threshold for the followers on the account that puts something believable, not believable out there?
There is no threshold. For
Really?
me, if I don't know you, you out of here. So I'll give you a great example.
Well, why would you know someone covering play-by-play
Yeah,
of
you
a
don't
St.
know
Bonaventure
everyone.
game?
It wasn't because it was a tournament. It wasn't a random game at wherever the hell they're at.
I mean, Joe Shad follows don't just grow on trees.
I'm just saying, man, like, my thing, remember when someone came out with this lengthy column about Michael Jordan is coming back to do TV because he's sick of people, like, staying in the past and he wants to, like, big up the current generation. And everyone ran with it. And I said, wait a second. This thing was, first of all, published on Medium.com, which is basically a glorified blog spot, right? But second of all, the credentials of the guy said he was a columnist for the Chicago Tribune, which everyone ran with, who's covered the NBA for 15 years. I said, buddy, if you covered the NBA for 15 years, I would have heard about you. You can't be an unknown working at the Chicago Tribune and you go cover my sport for 15 years. Mike, you say, how would I know? I may not be on top of college basketball like that. I know the names.
Okay.
I know the Jeff
you know,
Goodman.
well, you're in the circles. I'm sorry.
You got people that know people.
Yeah, well, I wanted it to be true, and I
Gary
showed
Parishes.
I wanted it to be true.
I showed you, and you had the right amount of scrutiny.
Yeah,
and
man.
this is how fake news is so effective.
I still
Joe
think it might
Shad
be true.
Follows 44,000 people.
Come on, man.
Wait,
Now he has 245,000 followers himself, so
Solid
not the
ratio.
worst ratio.
He's doing the Tay Diggs. Follow me, I'll follow you back. I remember the
Jose
day
Batista.
I got followed by Tay Diggs. I was like, I made it.
Can I ask you something? How that works? Like, for how many followers did you say Joe Shad, or how many people does he follow?
He follows 44,000.
Okay, so for someone like, I don't give out follows all willy nilly. All right, I probably follow a couple hundred people.
Really?
But for, yeah, you gotta earn that.
You just
shit.
followed me.
Yeah, well, all right, you've earned it. Notice I didn't do
You
it
were on
right
my
when I
turf.
started working
You
here.
were on my turf. That's why
You
had
earned
to
it.
Pay respect.
Didn't do it right away. But the point is, when someone like that follows 44,000 people, how do they navigate their timeline?
Zaz, how 560 people I'm hearing is
And that's how many. Zaz
He
follows
follows-
561, and he has
How do you
47,000.
navigate your
Ooh.
timeline?
Good for you.
How do you navigate your timeline now? It's not even the people that you follow.
yeah,
it
it's just
force
I don't
feeds
see
you an
anybody I
algo.
follow, by the way. Anymore. That's why I don't use Twitter as much anymore because it's just like I'll open
I've seen
it.
you lately in the Twitter streets, though. I've seen you lately.
Just replies.
Yeah.
I do reply. I do my. I take care of my.
Your
garden.
Threads algo is dialed.
My Threads is on point, baby.
Man, I never check that thread.
Threads
I like
is-
Threads.
Threads is where it's at, man.
The
never
the
checked.
algo
I don't know
is
if it's worth
exactly
I don't
where
know
I
about
like
that.
it.
But like my Twitter, I'm at like 119, and I follow 1,190, and that's a lot.
That's a lot, man.
But it's 10% of like what I have.
But you only have 119 followers. You got to up your game.
119,000.
Oh.
Put that K on that. With that respect, Greg.
Hey, good
How's it
morning.
going?
It's going great, thank you.
Do you have it back in my day?
What?
We talked about it last week that you were going to have it back in my day.
Oh yeah, damn,
Tuesday.
I forgot. It's surgery week. It's knee week.
There you go.
You know,
He's Zion, guys. What you want? When he plays, he's amazing, but he's hurt a lot.
I'm hurt.
That's on me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was knee week.
It's
I'm
knee
sorry.
week.
Yeah, man.
You got a lot on your plate.
How you feeling, Greg?
It's
going
knee
up to knee
eve.
week.
You know, I'm a little apprehensive.
Yeah.
Going under the knife tomorrow. So
Yeah.
Is this first surgery ever, or like
No,
you ever
third.
gone under?
yeah.
He had famously, to get the
that's
tumor
right,
out
the tumor.
a few years ago.
The-
And then I had the belly button thing.
You're also
you
of
went
a-
under for that?
That
That
was-
wasn't local?
You're of an
that was a
age
full
where
anesthesia.
Wow.
going under the knife at this point is always a
Scary.
risky proposition.
Right. Well, thank you for that.
You never
Yeah.
know if you're
No,
going to wake
right.
up,
That's true.
What are you doing?
But then you do.
He's right.
then you do wake up,
The
Greg.
long nap.
But you might not.
but you might not. In fact,
I'm 2 for 2, but it's a small sample size.
the odds are right now. The odds are worse than they've ever been in your entire life in terms of waking up from surgery.
That's true.
Doing? He
You know
wakes up
what?
every day out of the tomb. Relax.
I tell you what, I am older right now than I've ever been in my whole life.
Exactly right.
Yeah, but you're older now.
Now and then now and now. So, we live and learn.
and you want to call him Udonis Haslem.
Exactly.
How dare you? You
Yeah.
disrespectful
No, that was
bastard.
stellar. That's good
That's-
tape.
that's good.
He put out good tape just now.
Threw up the alley-oop. He caught it. Came down.
If we put him on waivers, he's getting claimed.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely.
We were discussing before you came in if like we should like the way an athlete would get benched if they keep showing up late to practice. Like should we send a message to you? But we said that you might be so good that we don't do that.
Okay, I'm not the John Morant of.
segue.
I mean,
Still got your joy?
Transition.
yes. I mean, come on now. I'm not a troublemaker. I'm just late occasionally through no fault of
Occasionally.
my own.
No fault of his own.
Yeah, thank you.
But
Wayne. Thank
speaking of Ja, Zaz, you asked the question. Has Greg Cody lost his joy because Ja told the press that he lost his joy?
It's unbelievable. Can we play the audio here? So last night, Ja Morant, he made his return. 1 game suspension. And he returned last night, did not play well. He was like, I don't know, he's like 3 of 14 or something. And, body language horrible during the game. And here he was post-game.
Were you and the coaching staff able to talk about what happened Friday and get locked?
Y'all asked that question to them, huh?
What about for you?
Y'all asked that question, so y'all know the answer to that.
Do you feel like everything's been resolved?
Yeah. They told y'all that, right?
Well, yeah, but
There
we
you
didn't
go.
hear it from you.
Obviously, they can't go and tell y'all something I ain't say.
You feel like you kept that same joy right now? We used the same from you?
No.
Why not?
If
What can be done to get it back?
we'll see.
Of course. Do you think you have a good relationship with the franchise?
Yeah.
In general?
Yeah.
Seems
They
like
told y'all that, right?
I didn't say anything about that.
If I had a good relationship, I wouldn't talk to them at all. So,
Jimmy,
and we had our combos over these.
Do you have any regrets about the way you played on Friday night in the second half?
You said what?
Do you have any regrets about the way you played the game? I'm not talking about that.
That's your home run question?
where's your
Sound like a bait question.
Greg, is that a fair question? Your journalist, is that a fair question?
Well, how did he phrase it again?
Do you have any regrets about the way you played in the second half on Friday night?
No, I don't think it's a bad question at all. I think it's perfectly legit based on his performance and not driving, taking all jump shots. I'm not going to be an apologist for this guy's unprofessional behavior. He's taken the Jimmy Butler seminar on how to behave when you don't want to play there, when you want out. He's just pouting his way. He hopes to a trade. It's ridiculous.
Do you have any regrets on the time you left your home this morning?
None at all.
Come on,
The-
man.
the
Well
head-
done. That's how you answer.
The headline is a little misleading of he says he's lost his joy.
He
A
was
reporter
asked,
says, hey, you have joy. I mean, he does answer no.
No, he
could-
could. No,
But it
he
seems
answered
a little misleading,
No,
the
he answered
headline.
yes.
No, I know, but he could have just said no. But it's
Yeah, he could have just said I wouldn't say that.
there's no difference in that headline when you're asked that.
Look, here's the thing. Greg's right. There's a way you do this so that you're not being insubordinate, but you're definitely not making everything run smoothly.
So easily could have come out and said, I'm putting that behind me. I just want to move forward and win
if,
games.
if
So easy.
Zaz, if you want to stay.
Correct.
If you don't want to stay, you don't do that.
He's 100% getting
I've
traded.
taught this seminar many a times to so many players. Look, in the NFL, when you want out, what do? You hold out. I won't show up. In the NBA, when you want to be out, you do show up. You show up and you make a mess. You make a mess not by being, oh, yes, sir, no, sir, oh, I just want to move forward past this and we're all working. No, you be like, you give answers like that. It's like, I didn't stop talking to the media. I didn't disparage. Everything he says when it's like, it's a little radioactive or third rail, what does he do? He says, did they tell you that? Obviously, they wouldn't tell you something I didn't say, right? So he's always shifting the focus. It is a
Nothing is ever his fault.
master class
On
of
the
someone
court
who wants to
or
get
off.
out.
Yes.
Nothing's ever his fault. I mean, look, that's how you lead right there, right? Like that's team leader right there. If you're Memphis, you start taking phone calls now. You really do. You start because they get a lot for him. It's not a terrible situation for them. You get a lot for John Morant. You're Memphis. You start taking phone calls right now. That situation is going nowhere. He is 100% getting traded.
So, Greg, I want to throw this to you because you weren't with us yesterday. We were talking about if you're the Miami Heat and you're off to this very positive start. Last night, great win on the road against the Clippers. Bam Adebayo looks great. The offense looks great.
Dude is aggressive.
Right? But John Morant's available. Do you make that call?
Well, Heat culture thinks it can fix anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's the starting point. I would look at that talent and say, I can fix him. We can make him fit. But the question, can they? I mean, Tyler Hero is going to be back soon. There's already talk about how do they make him fit in what they're doing now. But short answer, if Ja Morant is available for a fair price, yeah, I would. I would think I could fix that guy.
We're looking at an option where last year Desmond Bane went for how many first-round picks?
A lot.
Five.
Four
I
or
think.
five.
Four or five. Okay. Does Ja even get close to that?
I think it's an interesting question because you make, like, when you phrase it like that, it sounds like, okay, if Desmond Bane is worth 5 first-round picks, how many picks is this guy worth? And that's not what it is. Desmond Bane was worth 5 first-round picks to the Magic.
Right.
It's
just
about
need one person.
Just like Rudy Gobert was worth 5 first-round picks to the Wolves. Doesn't mean that those players are worth that.
To clarify, Bane was 4 first-round picks and a pick swap.
Okay.
So 4.5.
But Ja's a superstar, and you're looking for a permanent fix. You're looking for your culture to permanently fix somebody. And you look at the recent history of the Miami Heat when they bring in these projects, right? Guys that have a reputation around the league. Probably the most sterling example is one of the examples that they would hold against you in Jimmy Butler. That worked out great.
Right.
Until it didn't. And he absolutely nuked a season. You have examples like Terry Rozier, Dion Waiters, Hassan Whiteside, where they kind of worked, but temporarily. Terry Rozier just
Birdman, too.
Never worked. Birdman, I think, is the example where he was in your building and from like start to finish, he was bought in and he had that reputation. What I'm saying is it's been a while. Yeah, they did this with Timmy Hardaway. Yeah, they did this with Alonzo Mourning. We're talking about 30 years ago now.
No, but I think there's a point also where many of those names, right, Terry Rozier probably is outlier, actually, from all the names you named. There was a level of productivity and value they got out of all those reclamation projects.
And they were essentially considered winning players before the Heat even acquired them.
Even Hassan.
Whiteside, no.
Whiteside, no.
Oh, but come on, they didn't.
Waiters, no.
But I don't include Whiteside in that group because they didn't give up anything to get him.
No,
it's not like it was a gamble.
We're not talking about like the acquisition, reclamation project.
You're hanging your hat on this culture being strong enough to change Ja Morant, and you're cherry picking from examples that are pretty long ago.
Mike, what I would say is, one, in terms of reclamation projects, like I said, they all had a level of value that they got out of those guys. Now, as time goes by, things happen, and like there's a reason why those guys were reclamation projects to begin with, right? And I was very critical about how they handled the whole Hassan Whiteside situation because I'm like, you know who he is. Like, you might have gotten him to a level, but you guys knew, and you handed him that money, and you handed that money before you did Dwayne Wade. And that sends a message, even if we all know, well, no, that's just the order of operation. You know, for a kid like that, he's not going to see it like, oh, yeah, I'm the man now, right? So there's that. The second thing also is, of all the reclamation projects, where would Ja Morant stand in terms of talent and potential in the moment?
Greater than Jimmy Butler was at the time.
Yes.
So, like, he's younger.
We were arguing, is Jimmy Butler a superstar?
Yeah.
When Ja is right. We're not having that argument.
Right.
We know.
Well, I think I would call Ja Morant a budding superstar, a can-be superstar.
And he's played himself into that because 2 years ago, no doubter.
Right.
Yes, but he's coming into his prime. He just turned 26. And I think the Butler analogy is apt because this is a team with a short window. And if they get 4 or 5 big years out of Ja Morant, that's fine. You don't expect to have this guy when he's 35.
Well, he's 26. Mm-hmm. He's smaller, but super explosive. Mm-hmm. And we have some examples at that position of smaller, explosive guys like John Wall, wear and tear.
It'll age poorly.
Right. You hit your prime. It's been said you hit your prime in the NBA at 27. You're a fully formed player at that point.
Can't shoot.
It's hard for guys to get better after that age. So we have a guy that for 2 years, there's been off-court stuff, but a diminishing player given where the hopes and expectations were.
Yep.
This is not exactly given everything that we know about him, and when you include the concerns you might have about this guy relies so heavily on his athleticism, this isn't a slam dunk trade to make.
I agree.
So this is what I would say. First and foremost, that's the biggest concern to me. It's not his attitude or off the court stuff. This is his games played. 67, that was a shortened season due to COVID. 63 out of 67 second year. Third year, 57 out of 82. Fourth year, 61 out of 82. Fifth year, 9 out of 82. Sixth year, 50 out of 82. This year, obviously, 6 out of 6. So, like, we're talking about a guy, you can't even stay on the court. That's number one.
I think it was on a podcast or on Twitter that Ja hasn't played 7 consecutive games since 2023.
Like that. That's not because of suspensions or whatever. That's because he's not healthy. And part and parcel of that is what Mike is talking about. He's a great athlete who has, respectfully, like my build. He's about my height and probably around my weight, maybe a few pounds less because I've had a lot to eat since I got here.
And he's getting in trouble in Memphis. Now we're going to move him to Miami.
I don't discount Memphis as a troubled town.
Okay, but I count Miami as a town that there's a lot more to do.
But, yes, but then my rebuttal to you is, again, knowing this organization, how many people have actually gotten in trouble?
That's right.
Here. Wait. Look,
we have a really good security staff.
I know, but it's not about what you did.
That one time
it was
in the hotel.
Yeah. Thank God for Mario Chalmers is all I want to say.
It's not about what you did, it's what you get caught.
Ironically, one of the other fits that would make sense in terms of a swap where you could take two guys who maybe aren't living up to exactly what those franchises wanted, it would be Trae Young for John Morant.
I think that
John Morant to Atlanta.
That's smart. Yeah, that actually that really works.
Yep. Unfortunately, Trae is out for like a month right now.
All right, so let's take some examples that might be a little bit better to compare to. Miami's had opportunities and sniffed around acquiring James Harden at this point multiple times. Russell Westbrook was available. I remember, and I think at the center of both those trades, we were wondering, do you give up Tyler Hero for this player? And I think maybe here we are again. The Miami Heat ultimately, whether it be their trade capital or just internally, they decided to not go down that path and not acquire players that had a certain reputation. Westbrook was one of these players that was getting up there that relied heavily on his athleticism, even though he was actually, if you want to be encouraged by John Morant, the durability of Russell Westbrook, though their frame is different.
Yeah, it's different. No, it's a different beast.
Yeah, but the Miami Heat decided, for better or worse, to not go all in on those moves. So can we forecast what they decide to do with John Morant here?
The problem is, what the inherent risk, again, I don't think the risk that you're weighing is, he's a knucklehead, he won't get along, he won't buy in. He's not healthy. He hasn't shown the ability to stay healthy.
And his play might be starting to decline.
I don't think so. I think that's totally a part of what's happening right there. I'm not saying the way they're doing it is wrong. I'm just saying I attribute his poor play to the coach. And the coach even talked about it. He said, we're doing something that's different, that's kind of cutting edge, shorter stints, higher intensity. And he said, there's going to be casualties in that. Casualties of guys are used to playing a certain way, and now they have to play a different way. And casualties in terms of the way they used to play makes it easier to breed chemistry on the court with your teammates. And this might be harder to manufacture that, but we believe that this is the best thing for the short, medium, and long term. And that's all well and good. But again, it goes back to what I talked about yesterday, Greg. I said, that tells me they never had the conversation with Ja, which tells me organizationally, either they're idiots or they've moved off of him. They're like, maybe this team isn't meant to be built around him.
You really believe they haven't had that conversation with Ja?
There's no way you have something that drastic of a change and you're not, like, your star player is not bought into that. You can't do that. You cannot say.
Well, they can't force him to buy into it.
Yes, then you don't do it. That's the point. I remember when Don Nelson was the head coach of the Knicks. Greg, you remember this, right? It was a short stint, and they were above 500. But Don Nelson was like, we're not going to give the ball to Patrick Ewing anymore. We're going to give the ball to Anthony Mason, and he's going to initiate offense. Dog, you're asking to get fired at that point, unless the organization is like, yeah, I like it. And if that's the case, then they've already made a referendum on the star player who's getting de-emphasized here.
So then they've chosen Jaren Jackson.
That's, to me, or they're idiots. They could be idiots. You always leave that door open. I'll give you a positive example of this. The Toronto Raptors with Dwayne Casey and Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, they'd win 50 games. They'd win the division. They'd go to the conference finals. They'd lose in the playoffs to LeBron every single time. Dwayne Casey's last year, he says, guys, they were a very ISO-heavy ball club. So we're not going to win like this. We're not going to win with the ball in your guys' hand when we're on 100 pick and rolls. We have to have more of a motion offense. But you know what he did? He took This is before their season had just ended. He took Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan to the NBA Finals to go watch the Warriors play. He said, that's how I want to play, moving like that. You see how Steph is off ball, how much that's how we need to play if we're going to break through to the next level. And they spent a whole summer talking about it. They were bought in. That next year, he was coach of the year. They won a shit ton of games. They still lost to LeBron because them's be the breaks, right? But the point is, when he made the decision, I'm changing the system that's made both of you guys millions of dollars, the system that made both of you guys perennial all-stars. I'm changing it. This thing that you do so well and you're so successful at. And by the way, we're winning 50 games. We're going to the playoffs. We're losing to the eventual, like the best player in the league or whatever. They have every reason to say, man, I ain't doing that. It ain't my fault. But he sold them on it, and that sell job started before the start of the new season. It started before the end of the old season. He starts selling them on that. And they come in, and they bought in. Now, Dwayne Casey got let go after that, but that was not because DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry were like, get this bum out of here, right? Matter of fact, Nick Nurse was the assistant, and he took over, and he continued that same system, which they eventually won a championship with Kawhi Leonard. So I say this to say, Zaz, you don't make a drastic change to your system without buy-in from your star player unless you don't give a fuck about what he thinks. And in which case, you do whatever you want, especially for a first-time coach. You trying to get fired, dog? You want to piss off the best player in the locker room?
Well, maybe they don't care what he thinks.
But that's my point.
Maybe they don't care.
That's my point.
Maybe it was two things. They don't care what he thinks because A, if he doesn't like it, we will then deal with it. We're kind of tired of him anyway. Or he may not like it right now, but he's going to like it when it works. And we're winning. Like, I will win him over with this new style of play.
Oh, man. Jeremy, the show within the show. Make it the show.
Sacramento Kings.
Oh, my God.
That's a spot.
They would absolutely give the sun, the moon, and the earth. And then I would have the delight of saying, who's better, De'Aaron Fox or John Morant? In real life, we can see what John Morant gets done over there.
That makes so much sense to me. Like, when you look at their contracts, right? I mean, you're a bad basketball team. And you have $47 million in Zach LaVine. You have $42 million in Domantas Sabonis. You have $24 million in DeMar DeRozan, $18 million in Monk, $15 million in Schroeder. Like, you have all of these guys that are movable contracts, and you desperately need to do something different than the roster that you created here. You just put together a bunch of pieces that are names that really have no flow to their games. They don't complement each other. Obviously, like, building something around the idea of Sabonis and Morant offensively is very interesting. And when you look at how long those guys are under contract, like Sabonis directly matches up, and LaVine has a player option next year. So if Memphis just wants to get out of this, they can do that with Zach LaVine. At the very worst, it's next season instead of one more year of Morant. Like, that seems to be the place that makes the most sense so that they can make a splash and Memphis can kind of reset.
Yeah, but it's where it makes a sense for John Morant, too. You're trading for a little bit of a head case type player, right? If he doesn't want to play for Sacramento, if that's the last place in the league he wants to play, do you really want him if you're Sacramento?
Splash.
Let me say this, Greg, respectfully. He's playing in Memphis. You don't really get to be a chooser at that point. Like,
no, he wants out. No doubt about it.
But my point is Sacramento is a step up. Everything is a step up off of Memphis.
I also feel like he believes a step up is going to be wherever he can go, that they do whatever he wants.
Where he wants to play. He play the way he wants to play. I think that's the big thing.
I'm looking at this through the Heat lens right now. If you're the Heat, it's about fit and cost. Can you make him fit? Does he want to play for you? Is the team sold on it? What does Captain Bam say? I think everybody has to be on board, and if the cost is right, then you go for it. You're not going to trade Hero and 2 first-round picks, but if the cost
you wouldn't
is right,
have to.
I think they would.
Every time.
I don't think they would.
I
don't think they would.
I hear you. We might be a Norm Powell team right now.
Oh,
we might
Norm
be.
Powell. I love Norm Powell.
We might be.
He's great, man.
That's a likable player right there.
That's a likable
I could
dude.
root for that guy.
But I will say, every time we've had these debates and we're like, no, let's stay. We don't need that guy. It's come back to haunt this franchise. And then the same complaint is there lobbied often by me. We got to do something. Now, the something might have been Norm Powell. But
Sure looks like it.
Can I ask you guys?
I'm a little scared given the recent history.
I will say you're talking about guys who most of the time when you were talking about making those moves were still at the peak of their powers or just starting to tail, where you weren't making the massive moves of the recent lottery picks and multiple firsts for them. This is a different scenario where you have a guy who's probably at the basement of his value, where maybe you'd be making that swap for a talent, but I just don't know that it is a fit right now.
Let me ask this question, as you guys are all Miami guys, grew up in Miami,
I'm definitely
Heat
a Miami
fans,
guy.
right? Like, is this market capable of rooting for a team that's like scrappy and that's like this right here?
That was how the Miami Heat started.
Man.
Oh,
that
yeah.
wasn't until you got Shaq.
Hardest,
and then
hardest
everything
working,
changed.
best
conditions.
condition.
No, man.
Most hated.
You know that's
Most
Brother,
physical, nastiest,
you guys-
toughest team in the NBA.
That's right.
you guys know that's not like
Yeah, did you ever see Thunder Dan Marley get a hip into a guy?
been on
You
the
see
30 and
PJ
11.
Brown, you see when he tossed that charlatan Charlie Ward into the crowd?
Did
Bruh.
you see Tyler Johnson and James Johnson off the bench? Come on.
We wrote it on the court.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now.
This is who we are.
You are
It's my life.
fugazi.
No.
If
Hey,
you
I'm
think-
not LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. No. I'm John
Hell,
Crotty and
Hollywood
Sasha
is hell.
Denildich.
Someone who was 12 years old
I'm the man
in
to steal Eric Murdoch.
2004, right?
You know about Grant Long?
Someone who was 12 years old in 2004 is now in their
Dwayne
30s.
Carswell.
That guy, all they know is
You know
we
what,
had
Keith
Shaq,
Atkins?
and then we had Dwayne Wade, and we had LeBron.
I was 11
and we-
years old when the Heat won the championship, and I bleed Heat
Hey,
culture.
hey,
How
hey,
dare you?
Are you?
Let's not-
hold on.
let's not act
you
like this is an
waxing
old thing.
poetic about Ike Austin
You know what,
and
James
Rashawn
Posey?
Leonard?
Guys.
No, but I am about Luke Babbitt.
Guys, they were that in 2020. When they made it to the bubble finals,
basically.
they were that scrappy.
And
team.
you guys
Myers Leonard?
wanted more. You guys
Yeah.
wanted more.
Yeah, but we rallied around that team. The question that you
more.
asked is Miami capable of
loving a
rooting for-
blue-collar
of
team?
loving a
This is it.
blue collar team?
If
Yes, we
this
are.
is it.
The two most recent finals we've been to, we had that blue collar
So
team.
blue collar.
Right. It's all about winning for Heat fans. They don't care about anything else. Plus, if you
Forged
get,
in fire.
if you get Jean Morant, all of a sudden it helps you on the most hated category.
Oh, definitely get
I
them
do
blues.
miss that too. That's a spectrum. Blue collar, most hated. Good with both.
6'7" is what you just did.
In my day, seeds.
Seeds. Seeds. Had a slice of watermelon lately? Popped a few grapes in your maw? Then you probably notice seeds are disappearing from fruit. And you probably see this as a good thing just because it makes life a little easier. We love us some convenience. In fact, it's a terrible thing, the de-seeding of us. Symbolically alone, the seed is the king of life. Adam gave his to Eve, and here we are, if you believe the story. If they take the seed out of humans the way we have watermelons, we're all dead ducks. Beans, peas, rice, coffee, corn, all seeds. Flour and oil started as seeds. All hail seeds. So what the hell is happening? In exchange for convenience, we are not valuing the seed's impact on health, biodiversity, and our food system. The genetic variability of most plants require seeds as essential to their evolution. De-seeded, artificially homogenized fruits rely on human intervention in the reproductive process, exposing the fruits to many pathogens. Plainly put, seedless fruits are not as good for you. They contain less fiber and have fewer minerals and vitamins than their seeded natural brethren. Seedless fruits also have fewer antioxidants, plant-based nutrients, and anti-inflammatory properties. But enough about this science. Bring back seeds because seeds are fun. Not to mention aesthetically and visually pleasing. Kids growing up today have sliced open a watermelon, have never sliced open a watermelon, and experienced the joy of seeing that juicy red flesh dotted with embedded black seeds. Nellie Doogie used to tell us if we swallowed a watermelon seed, a big melon would grow in our belly. It wasn't true. But as kids, we'd make a competition out of seed spitting. You extracted the big seeds from the melon flesh. Tongue only, never fingers or a utensil, and you'd see who could project a seed the farthest. Every summer we did that. This was before video games, kids. Made our own games and toys. Flew a kite, kicked a can, spit a seed. Grapes were the real challenge because the seeds were so much smaller. We'd both pop a grape in our mouth, tongue moving, jaws in action, and whoever could spit out 3 seeds onto the table the fastest won. To this day, I carve real pumpkins and eschew the free fab foam and plastic fakes, mainly for the treasure trove of seeds inside. Hundreds and hundreds of them waiting to be scraped out, cleaned, and roasted in the oven to become delicious natural snacks. Respect, worship, and bring back the seeds. I need a t-shirt that says convenience is overrated. Insist to your local grocer that you'll take your watermelon seeded, please, and the grapes too. I'm Greg Cody, and that's how it was back in my day.
Yep. Journalism is dead.
But journalism, as we know it, as you know it, what you wanted to do when you were a little kid, okay, it has changed. It has. It's changed, okay? You're not wrong. Stephen A. Smith is not wrong. You have to adapt sometimes, okay? Because the game has changed. Your priorities have shifted. No one cares how someone goes and gets the news that they get as long as the news is accurate, as long as it's coming from a credible place. If it's Woj, if it's Adam Schefter, if it's you, if it's Diana Rossini, if it's Shams, nobody cares. You might care. Greg Cody might care. Stephen A. Smith might care. But you know what? You all sold out. Every single one of you, okay? Stephen A. Smith jumped inside the circus tent. I don't blame him. Why'd he do it? Because he had to do it. Because the game has changed. You jumped inside the circus tent. You did. You did so with me. Think about that. With me and with Greg Cody every Tuesday, okay? And so you have ditched journalism a long, long time ago because why? Survival of the fittest, Dan. You have to change with the times. You have to roll with the changing environment, roll with the changing industry, and that's what you decided to do. That's what Stephen A. decided to do. And for Woj, for guys like him, the game has changed slightly, where he went out and he sought reports, and he wanted to be the reporter. And you know what? If now he has morphed into a mouthpiece for the Blazers, I'm okay with it. I am good with it. I don't care.
Survival of the fattest.
Everyone, exactly. Everyone is selling out to make a buck.
What a terrible timing.
It was great.
Like that joke.
Hey, just give it up. You all want to be journalists. You're not journalists anymore. None of you. Not a one of you. Sorry.
You didn't even hear the joke. You
said I did. Survival of the fattest. It was great.
It just could have been done after Stugotz stopped talking, Dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoehorn that
But
in.
I'm okay. I'm okay
you're
with
splitting
it.
hairs.
Right.
Okay.
You adapt. You roll with things, man. That's it. You know, Dan, you started off, you know, if you're a driver, you drove a yellow cab and you were loyal to the yellow cab. You know what? But the game has changed to Uber, to Lyft, to private driving. And you know what? You have to ditch the yellow cab and you have to drive an Uber. Why? Because you'll make more money. Why? Because more people are taking Uber than the dirty yellow cabs. That's why. That's what you do. No one cares about journalism. You know what they care about? Laughing, being entertained. And you do a great job of that. And Stephen A. Smith does a great job of that. No one cares about journalism. People care about smiling. That's it.
You know, this morning I found myself while I was driving Claire to school. I told her, you know, you ask a lot of questions. You should be a journalist. And now here in this conversation, I just, you know what? Don't be a journalist. Like,
exactly.
Do something else.
It's over.
Sad.
You're going to let Stugotz parent your daughter. You think that's a good idea?
You think journalism is a good occupation to choose now?
No, I would not.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Jumped the gun a little bit there.
I didn't jump anything, man.
Jumped the gun.
Bro,
He was excited.
That was well done.
Did it
was,
right
but-
on point.
Well, the mic didn't pick up that this.
Pretty sure it
part.
did.
It just got the episode is.
It's like on a
go
buzzer
back
beater
and
where
listen.
you're looking at the replay and
I'm
you're seeing if
I'm
the ball was
seeing-
still on the fingertip.
Check the tape, you'll be wrong.
Yeah, a little
false
premature.
start, little false start. Yeah.
I'm sure you would be the one to know, Greg.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm a radio professional. Not that this is radio, but you get my drift.
Close enough. We're going to welcome in Diana Rossini from The Athletic. She joins us for her weekly hit. Now, Diana, usually you come on, you give us lots of great knowledge, and then Tony does his top 5 later on in the show, and he claims that you've stolen all of his material. And so today we're going to do something a little different.
Okay.
We're going to let Tony do his top 5 first, but Tony right now is going to deliver it live on location from outside the America Business Forum. That's where President Trump is going to be here tomorrow. That's why there was all the traffic that made Greg late, uncommonly late today. So, Tony, you're out there right now. The crowds still haven't started arriving, but you know it's happening. You ready to give our top 5?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. There's a couple people camped out right now. I'm here in the parking lot waiting for saying I need credentials to be here. I'm outside of the Crescea Center. Like, I'm good.
You're on.
I gotta pack it up and go. I'm not good here. No, not at all. Not at all. Okay. Seems like Seems like credentials are needed for this
You're
spot.
outside
so
on a public
I'm gonna have
street.
to move, guys.
I know where you are. You're across the street.
I'm across the street.
Tell him, yeah.
Doesn't matter. You gotta leave now.
Mention my name.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Zaslow?
No, that's not my name. You have
Okay.
It's not my name.
Okay. All right, guys. All right.
All right.
Go to Diana. Go to Diana.
Well, I
have
guess
to
Diana's
figure it
going to
out.
have to do hers first then.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was great.
Shocking. So, Diana, see, he doesn't have the clout that you had. You were in the
God
lobby
bless
of a
America.
hotel yelling, had your volume on high. Nobody told you anything. Tony can't even ask
he just
a question.
kept working, moving, knew what I was doing. Like he needs some type of credential there. Usually, you just point to your face. You go, "This is the credential."
Right.
Right. That's what you're supposed to do. That's a famous story in sports. That's what the big dogs do. They just, this is it. This gets me the access. Not for me, but I feel bad for him. I've been there a million times where you're just trying to do your job. Tony's just trying to give us the news, but I'm gonna come save him. So this actually worked out good.
Yeah, awesome. So we're here in Miami. Obviously, the big story this week was the firing of Chris Greer, the trading of Jalen Phillips. What can you tell us as far as not necessarily the timing of the firing, but the fact that it wasn't a clean sweep with him and Mike McDaniel?
First of all, this is the first time I've ever done a show without Dan.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
The vibes are very different, guys.
You know
Better,
what?
or-
You guys know this? Diana Rossini's first day at ESPN, me and her met in the basement of Building 0, was it? Or Building...
Is like building 3,
Building
and you were
3.
like,
There shouldn't be building 0,
Run.
right? Like, what are we doing with that?
So me and Diana go way back. That's why the vibe is
Hold on,
different.
I'm writing down that piece of trivia. Thank you for sharing.
Oh,
way back. Yeah, you were so. By the way, you were great. You're so nervous. You're nervous your first year at ESPN. Forget your first day, right?
dude,
It's
it was
just-
your first day. You were nervous. I've
know.
been there.
So they had me doing these like digital shows, which at the time was considered like the lowest level of like appearances, and they had hired me for SportsCenter, and I was just like waiting for like the call up. So they put me in like the basement, like literally the basement. And I'd be like, what am I doing down here? And you would be so nice and be like the guest after you would do the big shows to just sit with me. And I didn't know what I was doing. And you would just like power through, and you essentially were hosting and doing the analysis for me because I couldn't handle it. So thank you for doing 2 jobs at once. I somehow made it upstairs though eventually.
my pleasure. Your talent got you upstairs. You were awesome. Also, Mike's like, it's deadline day. What are we doing? You know what we're doing? We're humanizing.
Stop
Yeah,
humanizing.
these are people.
She's
These are human beings.
She's an NFL insider, and right now, NFL insiders are the most popular people on the planet. I'm not sure if you've seen your timeline, but the discourse is crazy, and people are supporting Diana's line of work. Diana, what do you make of this? It's been a week worth of dialogue here. Pablo actually did make some sense in the clip that I saw about journalism, and my main takeaway is, why are we just so accustomed to every source being anonymous? We know where this is coming from. This seems like a ridiculous practice. So where are you on the current discourse?
Okay,
That's
first,
your deadline question?
for those that were listening and heard the Miami question, I can sum it quickly, right? So Chris Greer gets fired. There is belief that the head coach is still the right guy. They really believe that he has not lost the locker room. I know last time we talked about this and Greg was asking me for specific examples on why I thought the team was giving up on him, and I didn't have any good ones. And I wound up making some calls. I was actually really glad he pinned me down on it because I made some calls after the show, and even I wrote about it in my column that week that the players were still bought in, and he hasn't, and they still think he's the right guy. So look, it's going to come down to Stephen Ross making this decision, but this isn't one of these situations where I have a date circled on my calendar like, oh, if he doesn't win this many games, he's getting fired. They're trying to get him through the season, and I think when the new GM comes in, then they'll have heavier discussions. But so far, I'm not super concerned about Mike. So I don't know how you feel about that, but that's the intel I have for now. As for the narratives, the conversations, these very strong opinions from hot takers and analysts and consumers of news, I feel like there's two camps right now. There's people that just want the information and they don't care if I say per my mailman or, per my dog, right? They don't care. I have really good friends of mine that I respect who like the fake accounts too. They're like, whatever, if they know something and they have a scoop because the guy at the deli told them, great. They just want the information. And then there's another camp of they don't really care about the information as much as who's giving it to the reporters. That seems to be the hang up. And I think agents are the most hated people in our space because they're trying to control obviously the money and the perception of their clients, and they use us. But most of us don't just rely on agents. The transaction game is vapor, right? Like, you guys know that. It's so stupid. Like, Woj gave me this advice years ago. He's like, do not waste your time on that. And it's true. And by the way, he was the king of it, right? Like, he was like Mr. Transaction. Yeah. But he was sharing that as hey, I learned that once you're all in on the transaction game, you kind of can't get out. I think it's good to do transactions because it shows the audience and the fans that people and you can get the scoop. But I think that the better kind of journalism, and obviously Pablo is a wonderful example of that right now, and really the stuff that we do at The Athletic, not to be all promo of my own company, where we dig a little and we take a little bit more time and we're not as pressed to get it out in that exact moment. Most of the time when I'm tweeting that stuff about transactions, things, and trades, it's my own little psychotic competitiveness. Like, no one at The Athletic's like, go beat Adam or you're fired. They don't care at all. They're like, tell us why. Mm-hmm. Explain, pull back the curtain a bit. So from the luxury of that, that's a wonderful place. It's why I love working where I do. But at the same time, there is a rat race to this. People love the info, and it's awesome to win. So I think the original question was, Mike, do we have to keep saying per source when it's so obvious who we're talking to, right? I think until people are comfortable just admitting that they talk to us, because that's the problem. Like, I was at a game on Sunday. I was at the Giants San Francisco 49ers game. The people I talk to the most from both those teams won't even wave to me. Like, they don't even want to look my way because they're so paranoid to be seen as the one that talked to me. So that's why I always laugh. Like, if you see me talking to somebody, they definitely don't text me. Like, they don't talk to me. They don't give me any scoop. Like, it's almost like you're better off being around me because then it's a way of protecting yourself.
Diana, how active are the Dolphins still today after the Jalen Phillips trade?
Active. They're taking calls. They're obviously not buyers. But teams around the league have an understanding that they are willing to listen on a lot of players, almost every player. I don't think they're going to make all these deals, but I think the tone there has changed over the last few days or so, where more teams are calling them knowing, okay, maybe it's a different business venture now that Chris Greer is no longer there. Diana,
Washington is dealing with injuries. Jaden Daniels is hurt again. Do you think we're going to see a fire sale from the Commanders?
I don't. I think they're going to definitely sell. I don't think they're selling at a cheap price to just move on to next season. No. They were looking for a pass rusher over the last few weeks. They're not giving up on this season, but it's been a weird one, right? Like they're that team that we're going, little black cloud, right? Between them and the San Francisco 49ers, I just feel like they can't catch a break, especially, in terms of the injury situations there. They've got these older players. Obviously, we've discussed Dan Quinn and his decision to keep Jaden in the game. They're just, for a team that was so electric last year and I think had a lot of potential to be good, things are just not swinging their way. But I don't think this is an organization that's like, let's just sell it all off. I think right now they're trying to keep this thing intact.
Another team that seems to be falling apart is the Cincinnati Bengals. Me and Zaz had a lot of fun yesterday listening to Jamar Chase.
Offense and defense are gonna fight.
Yeah, like they hate each other. They hate each other. They're openly war of words in the media against each other. There's no way that this whole thing stays together, right, in Cincinnati?
And it's so bad. That's to me, like, forget reporting and press conferences. When it's individual players essentially taking passive aggressive and sometimes just aggressive shots at each other, it's the worst of the worst, right? Because that just tells you the culture, and that means from the top down, it's not good. And they know it. I talk to people in Cincy, like the players know, like it's been a hard year for them. And obviously Joe Burrow is the center of all of this. And he kind of represented the hope of, if we could just get through and Joe will get back. And timelines with injuries, as you guys know, it's so hard to predict. Like, great, awesome. In most cases, coming off a turf toe injury, surgery, you're back in this many weeks. But look at Brock Purdy. He didn't even have surgery. He's got the turf toe. He was expected to be back like 4 weeks ago. He's still not playing, right? So like you just never know. So I never liked this theory that, let's just get through these games and then Joe can save the day, because that wasn't a fact. So I think for now, Cincinnati is listening. They're taking calls. Trey Hendrickson's the biggest name right now in terms of teams calling, trying to gauge the scenario. As of yesterday, they were still looking for a first-round pick in exchange for him. But I can tell you, other teams that I've been talking to this morning, and even later yesterday afternoon, they think they're going to lower their price. They think they're going to drop that on Trey. We'll see if they do it. This is other teams predicting what the Bengals will do. This isn't the Bengals telling me this. So we'll see if they change their price for Trey and move on from him. It would make sense for them to do it.
Diane, I got one more on the Dolphins and Mike McDaniel. The fact that it appears that Mike McDaniel could be the coach still next season for the Dolphins, is it possible then that Stephen Ross believes that Tua is the problem?
Oh yeah, I think it's very fair. I think that's going to be, without a doubt, the story of the offseason of what will they do with Tua? Is this the right marriage? Right? Is he the right quarterback for Mike McDaniel? If this is the direction they want to go in, right? Like, what I want to know is what happened, right? Like, Tua got paid, which he deserved it, and something changed, and what happened internally, and I think that's going to be stuff we'll be digging on over the next few weeks.
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
What?
Ace Hardware, 13 times 3 equals panini sandwich. Hello. Oh, sorry, CTE kicked in again. It's the fun CTE, though. It's the fun kind.
What are we seeing today, Diana? It's deadline day.
Yeah, let's get down to this.
Occasionally, over the last couple of years, we've seen some wild ones. Which contenders are going to make moves? Is there a surprise name out there that might get moved?
No, it's not as sexy as I wanted it to be. I thought it had a shot like 2 weeks ago. I thought maybe there'd be a big name player. If AJ Brown maybe kept tweeting, who knows? I was thinking maybe there would be an opportunity, but Philly has shut that down despite teams calling. So that story's over. And other than that, I mean, pass rusher is the position that a lot of teams are looking into. There was a time where I thought maybe Minnesota would make a move at quarterback, depending on how J.J. McCarthy played. Obviously, he played very well, so that's off the table. They're sticking with him and sticking with who they've got there. But I had this conversation with the general manager a couple days ago. the needs are there on every team. Every general manager is swimming in the waters today, and they're casting their pole in the water to try to catch something. But if there's no fish that are worth it, you just don't do it. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of executives who are afraid to make moves. They are. They're afraid to look bad. They're afraid to lose the trade. The best ones that I've been around over the years, they don't care. They don't care about the report card. They're just trying to make their team better. And the teams that are already very aware of what they are, right? Teams that we assume are going to be making the playoffs and by math, by those calculations, are pretty almost guaranteed at this point. It's close to it. They're trying to get better in any area. There's no specific position. Just like if there's a good player that we can find, we're going to go get them. I just don't think there's anyone. Max Crosby's not available. Myles Garrett's not available. The ones that you want to see get moved that would be blockbuster just aren't there. So we've got a few hours left. You never know, right? I feel like I got to always put that out there because God knows with the luck of this show, while I'm on it, what would be the trade that I would just quit? Like I probably would never come back on. Like what could happen right now that would make you go, oh man, she just looked bad there.
Mahomes, wow.
Mahomes getting moved for Tua.
Semi-realistic.
There you go.
And
then
Tua.
Where? To Cleveland?
No, Mahomes for Tua, and then Tua blowing up with the Chiefs, and then running the table. That you should quit after that. If that happened, I would quit. I would be like, never mind.
If it was during the show too.
Oh my God. How great would that be?
It happens. In fact, I thought about it last night. I'm like, I think I'm going to text Dan and cancel and push it to Wednesday because something always happens when I'm focused on this show. And see, as my phone rings, don't worry, it wasn't anyone.
Well,
no.
there could be the opportunity for something crazy happening because the Cowboys lost late last night, and Jerry Jones said at the beginning of the season he wouldn't put it past himself to actually use what he received in the Micah Parsons trade to go out and acquire somebody else. So if there's a team to go out and do something desperate at the deadline, Dallas' season's teetering on the edge. Do you see them doing something drastic?
No, I don't. And they made that move this morning. It's funny. You look at the Cowboys defense and they're like, oh, let's do this. Let's trade with a team whose defense is worse than ours. This doesn't make any sense to me. But look, Jerry said to my face he wasn't going pass rush, like on the record. And I know, like,
well, in that case,
take it for what it is.
Yeah, in that case, write it in stone.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It's like it's not like other people when you get them on the record. It's just like he could change his mind today. So look, I don't know a name right now that they're targeting that they've been calling. I know the Jets have been receiving a bunch of phone calls for some of their players on defense. Quinnen Williams is a name I've been hearing a lot over the last few hours as someone a bunch of teams are targeting. Jeffrey Simmons is a guy that teams want. Titans aren't moving him. So again, I think Jerry would like to make I can sense he wants to do something, but Micah Parsons isn't available.
Diana, two-part follow-up on the Dolphins again. Champ Kelly's interim GM, fairly inexperienced at the job. Any chance he can work his way into that job, or are they definitely going to replace him? And number two, how does the Tua conundrum play out? Is there a trade market for him? Aren't they stuck with him next year based on the guaranteed money? How does that play out?
Yeah, from what I understand, Champ is there right now to keep this ship riding and to keep them afloat. He obviously has experience doing it before. He's been an interim. But as I'm sure you guys have seen reported, Stephen Ross has a heavy hand in this. And he's part of all the conversations that are being had. Not that he wasn't before, by the way. He's one of those owners that likes to know what's going on. But I definitely think it's more of he needs to approve all of these trades from talking to some teams that have talked to Miami over the last few days of there's a little bit more of a process there than what it was before. So I do think they're going to go try to find a general manager. You never know. Maybe Champ does some great work over the next few weeks, but I don't think they're in a position right now where they think anyone internally. By the way, this goes back to the head coaching situation. There was a time where, when things were really bad for the Dolphins, and I was having a conversation with someone there, And they were like, well, who's going to be the interim here? Like, everyone wants us to fire people, but it's not like you've got these great coaches all over the place. It's not easy to find to just fill in that gap. So to get to the Tua part of this, Greg, this is going to be what the new regime is going to have to discuss and figure out what they want, right? And look, I think there's people in that building that have already made up their mind about him, which I think there's some people there that still believe in him. And I think there's some people there that would be fine with moving on from Tua if there's a market for him and if it's available. And if there is a team that would trade for Tua. Every time I've done these kind of stories where, it's, mid-fall and you think, oh, this guy stinks, no one's going to want him. Well, it changes a lot in the offseason when you've got these teams desperate for a quarterback. And Tua doesn't seem so bad. So we'll see how this plays out in the offseason, but that is for sure outside what the futures of this head coach and, what the general manager will be. The Tua question is holding them back for sure.
She's a senior NFL insider at The Athletic and the host of the Scoop City podcast. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, wherever you get podcasts. Diana, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And thank you for being so nice to me on my first day. Yeah. And I got to say, I don't think I missed Dan today.
Humanizing. That's what we do here. All right, we go straight from Diana out to Tony on location, different location to give us his top 5, Tony's top 5. Tony, where are you joining us from? They made you move. That's office.
I am probably the closest. Yeah, I'm closest part that we could be here to the Kaseya Center, where we do not need a credential, which is literally in the corner of the office.
Mike,
but seeing the Kaseya Center over my left shoulder.
Oh, man.
What are you laughing at?
He's literally standing right there, right outside that door.
No, he's not.
No,
he's not.
True.
He's not that
That's
close.
not true. That is not true.
I can tell that window anywhere. Oh my God.
Can you read me? Can you read me number 1?
Where are you at?
Dispute continuously playing terrible football. That says dispute, not dispute.
Autocorrect.
Despite continuously playing terrible football, the Jags are 5-3 somehow.
True or not true?
I can't get over the spelling.
Yeah, it's autocorrect. That was whatever.
Tony, I was at that stadium this weekend where the Jaguars play. Everbank Stadium, place a dump.
Oh, hard?
Yeah, it's bad, but make sure that you connect with my people when you're in my turf, by the way. Jacksonville's my city.
You got to check
904 stand up. Duval County stand up. Yeah, you got to check in with my people.
Let me tell the people
making sure you know that player.
This top 5 is presented by Smirnoff, the official vodka sponsor of the National Football League. Smirnoff, please drink responsibly. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Vodka, 40% alcohol by volume.
All right, Tony, what's your?
That was just a little taste of the OLI.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just a little taste of the OLI. Here's the rest. So I got 3 OLIs after that, and then off to my top 5.
Okay.
So we'll get 1, 2, 3 OLIs quick. Here we go. Say what you want about the Bengals defense. They're always in exciting games. I know Zaz wanted to pit the offense against the defense yesterday with Chase Brown's comments.
I didn't want to. I'm just speaking the truth.
For the Bengals. Okay, that might be your truth, not my truth. My truth is the Bengals are always in exciting games. Thank you to the defense. We should be saying thank you to the Bengals defense, not chastising them. Jonathan Zaslow.
Interesting.
Can hardly see the Kaseya
Nobody's
Center.
having that
Yes,
take.
you can.
I
It's
can
right
see
there
it.
over his
I
left
see a
shoulder.
road
Don't
sign.
be ridiculous.
It's right there.
Yeah. We see the Port of Miami with signs.
Okay, all right. Whatever.
All right, go on. What are your OLIs?
OLI number 3. No one has more ugly wins than the Denver Broncos.
Yeah? Sure?
I don't think that can be disputed.
No. Or despited.
or despited.
He said disputed.
Next OLI.
Guys, I'm rattled. My bad. All right, stop me if you've heard this one before. Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season. Who cares? Biggest who cares of all time.
It's a good game,
They beat
man.
the Chiefs in the regular season. Yeah, sure, good game. It's always a good game. They always win by 7. They win by 3.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then they get beat in the playoffs. It's the same thing.
Yeah, Bills are 5-1
Boring.
against Mahomes in the regular season with Allen. They're winless in the playoffs. Who
Tony's
cares?
rattled like Mike Ryan after a
Everybody
Skype
who
call.
bet money on the Bills. Everybody who bet money on the Bills.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jim. All right, number 5. Number 5, the Packers are on fraud watch.
Oh.
Keeping an eye on the Packers. They're on fraud watch.
You lose to
Yeah,
Carolina.
big time. Yeah, I
At
mean,
home, right? That
Even
was-
though Carolina's sneaky 5-4. Yeah.
Sneaky decent?
3-1 since Dan said their season was over.
Are the Carolina
Look at the
Panthers
throw
for real?
that. No, they're not for real, but they're dead as Dan said after they won. They've gone 3-1 since then, like Jeremy said. Look at the picture on the screen right now. This is a throw that Jordan Love had to nobody.
Yeah.
To somebody in the opposite jersey. With the game on the line, Packers. Jordan Love throwing an absolute prayer, a goose up. Yeah, they're on fraud watch for me.
When does Toyotathon start though? Because that's when we know Jordan Love
It's been
really gets going things on. It
No,
has.
No, it starts. I think it starts late October
No,
into
they're
December.
screwed then. I'll
So I think
check
we're-
those dates, but
I think we're
if
starting.
that's the case, they're screwed.
Next.
Yeah. Number 4.
Okay.
Rams and the 49ers quietly at 6 wins each. Nobody's talking about these teams. But quietly, Rams and 49ers, both Rams and 49ers quietly at 6 wins.
Rams might be the best team in the league.
Yeah.
I'm not going quietly, though. I feel like every week you talk
I mean,
about McCorkle doing something. Like,
And
oh, my God,
Stafford.
he's got him going.
Stafford, quiet MVP.
I know.
Conversation?
I'm telling
He's
you,
in the
thank you, Greg.
conversation?
Yes.
He walked in the bar, and guess what he ordered?
Bottle service?
Bottles.
Oh,
Yeah.
that means he's in it.
Huge news,
Yes,
Tony.
sir. Got a
Huge
couple bottles
news.
of Smirnoff.
Huge news for the Packers. Toyotathon starts mid-November.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Mid-November. I thought it was mid-October. Okay. Good to hear. Number 3, Tony's top 5, number 3. Weird how the Cardinals look so much better and more competent with Jacoby Brissett. It's weird, isn't it? I tell you that Kyler Murray sucked like 5 weeks ago, and now just the fruit are bearing. The fruit are bearing everywhere. It's abundance of Jacoby Brissett. Even though he won their first game since their 5-game skid, the point being they look better. They look more competent.
Fruit or bearing, huh?
Everywhere.
Fruit or berry?
Dispute
Everywhere.
Jacoby Brissett's incredible performance on Monday night. They
Uh-huh.
do have a franchise
Uh-huh.
quarterback there that hasn't done anything to really lose the job.
Have you not? Do you have eyes? Do you have eyes? Like he's hasn't been good in like a couple of seasons. If you want me to be real honest with you.
What more does
But it's okay.
Jacoby Brissett have to do? He's done this so many places now. It's like, is he ever going to break out of that backup kind of break glass in case
This
of
might be the
emergency?
final spot. I mean, your hometown team, the Arizona Cardinals, right in Phoenix, right at the big toaster. Okay, this might be the stop where Jonathan Gannon says, you know what? I kind of like the way that the offense moves with Jacoby Brissett better than it does with Kyler Murray. Who does Kyler Murray make better? Is it Marvin Harrison Jr.? No. Is it Trey McBride? No. Like Michael Wilson? Does he make Michael Wilson better, the second wide receiver? Sure. Okay, great. Kyler Murray doesn't make anybody better. Jacoby Brissett comes in. Trey McBride looks like an all-world tight end. Marvin Harrison Jr.
It's
finally
always
starts
looked like
getting things
McBride
going.
always
Like,
looked good.
McBride, yes,
No.
McBride was made better by
guys,
Kyler Murray.
no. No. Oh, Mike. Oh, no, Mike. Don't do that to yourself.
McBride was one of the more productive tight ends.
Don't do it to yourself,
He's just
Mike.
getting
Guys,
into the
the
end
splits.
zone.
No, Tony's right.
Mike, you know what you're
Guys,
doing?
McBride's always
the
been great.
splits are terrible, Mike. You're
Terrible?
showing your ass, Mike. I didn't want to do that,
You're doing it to
man.
yourself,
Terrible.
Mike,
No,
I
he-
like you,
Mike, we
Mike.
warned
I'll find
you.
those
He
splits
just
for you.
doesn't get
Mike,
into
I
the end
like
zone,
you.
Kyler, but he's one of the best tight ends in the league with Kyler.
You know, this is Tony's top 5.
Oh,
I don't want to hear from you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. All right. Number 2, Calabaza for our favorite Cinderella QB. Put him up on the screen. Danny Dimes, a terrible, terrible game against the Steelers. Calabaza for my Gringo family members over there in the studio means pumpkin.
Oh.
And the saying in Spanish is calabaza, todo mundo pa la casa, which means pumpkin, everybody home, right? And that's obviously a play on Cinderella, where the pumpkin to the carriage turned into a pumpkin.
Yeah,
So we're looking at pumpkin time right now instead of apple time, pumpkin time for Danny Dimes.
You know, the
potentially
Kardashians live in Calabaza, California.
they do. Good for you. But the thing is, I didn't mean that for you though. You're honorary Cuban.
Of course.
Congrats.
You've been to the Kendall Flannies. You know what's up.
Oh, my God.
Take me back.
Oh, one more time, man.
You've been to the Kendall Flannies.
I need like a zip line from the top of the Elsa straight to Kendall.
Ah.
Just all the way down there.
Be a bit-
Land at the
Be a
Flanagans.
crowded zip line.
It's like, where's Amin? Oh, there he is. just flying down the Dolphin Expressway. All right, number 1, Mike McDonald, Coach of the Year. I'm saying it here in week 9. Coach of the Year, Mike McDonald. Shout out to him.
Yabo, be there.
Yeah.
What a fool believes.
Coach of the Year.
I can't get.
Shout out to the Seahawks playing really good ball. Mike McDonald, Coach of the Year. That's Tony's top 5, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's presented by Smirnoff. Shout out to Smirnoff.
For Tony, I have the splits. So under Jacoby Brissett, Trey McBride stats.
We lost him. He's not going to be
an
here for another
average
hour.
of just about 7 catches per game for 64 yards and almost 1 touchdown per game.
And who was that with?
That's Jacoby Brissett. Under Kyler Murray, the average is about 5 catches per game for 52 yards and 0.1 touchdowns per game.
It's a touchdowns.
So it's about a 15-yard difference, a couple more catches, and obviously like the touchdown rates are way higher.
That's
with
a
Brissett.
lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, it's
You did it to yourself, Mike.
2 catches a game is a lot.
Based off those stats, you guys oversold.
You
like,
did.
How crazy the splits
You're
were.
talking about a 3-game sample with Jacoby
Right.
Brissett.
Yeah, he's not
5
good.
game sample.
Mike,
5
You're
games.
okay,
How many
that's still
games
a
with
small
Kyler Murray?
sample. The touchdowns will come down. If the
A
argument
lot- a
is
lot of
like
games with
Kyler
Kyler
Murray
Murray.
does not just Trey McBride wastes away with Kyler Murray, it's not true.
Wildly overstated.
How about
the splits.
Kyler Murray right now, today, within the next couple of hours, the Washington Commanders trade for him?
Wow.
I don't know why they would do it.
Hop on
I like it. I like this game.
Hop on a
It's fun.
bird, go to Spain. We're playing the Dolphins, Kyler.
They built the offense for Jaden Daniels. You can run around, right? It's better than Marcus Mariota, and then maybe they got a shot in that division.
And long flight, you know what you do?
You learn the playbook.
No, Call of Duty, baby. What you talking
We're
Learn
talking
the
about
playbook.
Kyler Murray. What are we doing?
Did we look up the splits or no?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
2 more catches per game,
It's
about
not that
15
great.
more yards per game, and the touchdown rate is
a lot.
So
0.8
it's plus all
touchdowns.
across the
Yeah,
board.
no, it's
Every
better in
single
every
thing
single
is
With
better.
5 games with Brissett.
Okay. Do you want
Tony, you know what they're doing?
What?
They're doing it to themselves.
I'm trying to
They
tell
continue to do
39
it to
games
themselves,
with Kyler
despite
Murray.
being warned.
He was a pro.
How many
Yeah.
touchdowns? How many touchdowns?
Yeah, but my argument was it's just a touchdown.
But then why isn't Kyler Murray looking for his best weapon in the red zone to score touchdowns? Why is that not happening? Why did he have a touchdown last year of a fumble recovery before he caught an offensive?
Especially in that stadium where they have a big sign that says red zone.
Kyler Murray has like 1-2 touchdown game. The numbers like fly up.
He's not good, guys. There's a reason why he's not going to play.
That's
But
not
you
the
overstated
conversation we're
the
at.
splits. The splits
You know
were
what?
overstated.
I'm bored.
Okay, so let's talk about
I'm
AI.
out.
Let's talk about AI because I downloaded Sora and it sucks.
What is that?
Sora is the people who make ChatGPT made this app where you can create AI videos. Ooh. Yeah, you scan your face, you say some phrases, and now you can make AI videos of yourself. You can make AI videos of anything, really. And so I was messing around with it, and I said something along the lines of, hey, man on the street interviewing 3 Miami Heat fans, ask them, what do you want the Heat to do? They all yell out, get Ja. And then I said, the interviewer follows up with, why do you think they should get Ja? And one fan says, because this is Miami and we get stars, baby. The second fan says, because he's got the hottest shoe in the game. And the third fan says, because you can always use more shooters. Pretty simple, right? This dumbass app could never get that to happen. I kept getting like the interviewer would then answer his own question. I got a guy who had glasses appear midway through his answer. I'm talking about just he's talking to you and all of a sudden he's got glasses on.
I like it.
I've got one where the interviewer's asking the question and the third fan is mouthing the question as the guy is saying it.
I like it.
It's so goofy. I'm like, this is never going to replace anything of note.
Well, it sounds like it was so bad that it was good, though.
I mean, I did laugh.
Yeah.
I did laugh. I also had one where I'm sitting courtside and I threw up on Media Row. But
And you threw up?
Yeah, I made it.
Like Tracy Morgan?
Yeah, like that. But on Media Row, right? So everyone's laptops are there or whatever.
You puked on people's computers?
In this AI video, yes.
Was it realistic vomit?
The vomit was realistic. The depiction of me was not. They had me
Can I
like
see it?
225 pounds. Yeah, I could show. We're not gonna do this on air. I'm not gonna give them that kind of.
I want to see a mean puking on Media Row.
Oh no, it's a good one. I'll show you in the break. I don't want to. I don't disrupt the flow. But like, I just kept thinking about all the people who are like they're gonna replace actors and stuff. I'm like, they're never gonna be able to replace human acting with AI.
Sora is good if you give it the grace that it deserves for a very low kind of Phi app.
Why is it called Sora?
I don't know.
Why is anything called anything? Why is Apple called Apple?
Why are you called Zaslow?
Why are you called Zaslow?
Seriously.
That's your name, right?
Why is it called a microphone?
Yeah.
Really? That's what we're doing?
That kind of thing. What do you not get?
It's been a weird show, Zaz. I don't know what to tell you.
So the point
doing it to yourself again, Mike.
Yeah, you are doing it to yourself.
The gymnastics that these two behind me
so
are
it's not
doing,
gymnastics.
trying to get the splits.
You know
They're
what
like,
it's called?
No,
Eye
do the
test.
last 6 games. No, Jeremy, put in this season minus the last 2 games. It's just like it's close, guys.
This
It's not
season,
that
the
crazy.
stats are better in every single category for Trey McBride with Jacoby Brissett. But in 5 games, it's 29 catches with Kyler, 34 with Jacoby Brissett.
Better.
It's 275 yards with Kyler. It is 320 yards with Brissett.
Better.
It's like
and
one
then the
big
really
play.
big one is 1 touchdown in 5 games with Kyler, 4 touchdowns in 5 games with Jacoby Brissett.
Better.
It's better in every category.
Right.
I will say the difference of 5 catches is not gigantic, but it is a catch game.
Let's quit trying to make Jacoby Brissett better than Kyler Murray.
Thank
It
you.
isn't true. Jacoby Brissett's a career
I
backup.
got him back.
He was bad with the Dolphins.
No,
we had him down here,
Yeah.
and he was our backup,
I'm
and he
bored.
stunk.
Terrible.
I'm bored. I want
You
to
were
talk
just
Sora.
interested for a second.
I'm
We
wanna
had
talk
you.
Sora.
The hook got in your.
The interesting part is that right now they just won at Dallas, and they're not maximizing. Now they lost a game that didn't have much to do with Kyler. That had to do with DeMarcado's drop and the insane play that Tennessee made. But they're at it appears to be a crossroads with Kyler Murray where they have to decide. And truthfully, like Jacoby Brissett, historically he's been a solid enough quarterback that everyone's like, this is a prime backup. If he's ever given the opportunity to be QB1 again, I know he briefly had one in Cleveland, but if he's able to take that from a young quarterback and you fully endorse him, it'd be interesting to see where they go.
Juju, put it on the poll. Who's better, Jacoby Brissett or Kyler Murray?
Objection, Your Honor, leading the witness.
Just a question.
Just a question. I don't think you know how leading the witness works.
Coming up today on the Alley Oop. Is it free 12 time in Memphis? Should we free my boy?
Best trade destinations for John Morant with the special guest who has all of the insight on where the best location might be for him to go.
Lock in.
We're the only ones providing the jobs we're presently providing. I heard local TV reporters are making $45,000 a year.
Huh.
I couldn't believe that. That's how bad local television is struggling. That's the place that has arrived. And I told Chris Cody not to get into this business at all because it's terrible.
But Stephen A. Smith is making more money than he's ever made in his entire life. He has more power. He has more of everything than he's ever had in his entire life. You want him to give that up because of journalism? Like, get out of here.
I believe you can do both. You're being very
How?
very absolute about this. First of all, he does. He does reporting, does journalism. He is very credible. When he gives information, it's not like Skip Bayless giving information. There is a difference. Skip Bayless also allegedly a journalist, but he's been contaminated by this thing and distorted by it in ways that are even more poisonous because he doesn't do any reporting anymore. Like, he doesn't talk to people in a way that's informed. Stephen A. actually goes to things, has relationships, and certainly when he's talking about basketball, if Stephen A. gives you information that's not opinion, you trust that it's informed.
No doubt. But every time he does that show, Dan, every single episode, his journalistic integrity, it shreds away. Little by little, piece by piece, it just does. He is doing a debate show debating the most ridiculous topics in the history of sports. Like, it has to affect your credibility.
Stugotz, it has happened.
And you sitting next to me does not help. I mean.
or my dad or Cody, because I said
Cody?
to myself, generations of Codys, because I did say to myself, this is one of the things I find funny about Stephen A. and thinking that he and I do the same thing, because once I got to PTI and it was argument television, I said I'd like to try to do it differently, but I guess that sounds highfalutin. I don't want to do debate shows.
The knuckleball is dead.
The knuckleballer is dead now, correct? Completely dead. There's no one. Is there anyone throwing the knuckleball now?
Someone has to be throwing it.
I would say Tim Wakefield was pretty
None of us
bad.
have one. We're just like, yeah.
No, there has to
There's
be.
got to be. Well, wait a minute. The knuckleballer didn't go extinct without anyone telling us.
As long as there's breath in my lungs, there's a knuckleballer out there.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at Le Batard Show. As long as there is breath in your lungs, will there be a knuckleballer out there?
There should be more because if you notice, I mean, I don't have any stats to back this, but I don't care. I'm going with it regardless. I would say that the position players that are pitching have a much better ERA than average pitchers do. Because they're all just going out there throwing the ball like 35 miles an hour, and the hitters are so confused that they just get under it, they pop up. Like nary a run is scored off of a position player. Sometimes, but not always.
I loved when baseball analysis was starting strong. I loved the people who would do the analytics on how a knuckleballer would screw up your hitters the next day. For the preparing for a knuckleball would screw you up the next day as well because you're sitting out there hitting those 45-mile-an-hour butterflies.
There's nothing that I hated more, like growing up watching the Marlins, than when Jamie Moyer was coming to play against them. And I don't even remember if he was a knuckleballer, if he could just only hit 75.
Slop. It was just slop.
He could only hit
he was not a knuckleballer.
72.
He was just old, and he threw croutons up
Anytime there was a knuckleballer or just an
Oh,
old man that could throw the ball really slow, I knew like this team can only hit fastballs, and this is going to be a long day and a long week because they're not going to be able to figure it out.
And it's frustrating because you're just seeing these meatballs go over the plate. You're like, how can you not deal with this? This is so slow. Hit the baseball. And yet Jamie Moyer had a 20-year career. He was 40. He was still pitching.
What is the ruling of the committee? Is Stugotz is nominated? I need some sort of formal ruling from the committee. He has nominated Joe Musgrove. Billy is passionately against. Chris, are you willing to give him horse status because horse status is before ace? Horse is not an ace.
Chris, before you answer, I have good news on the knuckleballer front. There is still one remaining. Mickey Janis of the Orioles is still throwing it. Okay?
The worst team in the league.
He's still out there, though, keeping the species alive.
It also
will not
seems
go
though
extinct.
Mickey Janis has only pitched one game in 2021.
Oh.
In Major League Baseball.
He's still trying.
Still breath in my lungs.
Yeah.
He is currently with the Chicago Dogs of the American Association of Professional Baseball, which I don't think is in Major League Baseball. So
it is extinct.
So it is extinct for now, yeah.
But extinct in the majors doesn't make it extinct as a species.
Yeah, exactly.
This may surprise you, Dan, but there are only 33 pitchers who have ever thrown a knuckleball in a Major League game, according to
wrong.
Wikipedia.
That's
which I was surprised how small that number was.
I don't think that's wrong, Billy. Why would you think that's wrong?
That's wrong.
Let's all name knuckleballers we can think of and see if
Well,
they're
no,
on
we'd
there.
never come up with 33 of them. 33 sounds about right to me. It's a terrifying way to make a living. Imagine all these guys. They're just failed pitchers who developed some other.
Whoa.
Failed pitchers.
Someone with like a 15, 20-year career is a failed pitcher?
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy Moyer is not a knuckleballer. You made him a knuckleballer just because he throws soft.
Tim Wakefield pitched,
toss.
across decades.
There are a couple of guys who are exceptions, but largely the knuckleballer is a novelty freak who comes out, and it is hard to make a living that way.
Jeez.
Freak, what are you
I don't
doing?
like how you're describing these things.
Right. Isn't Phil Niekro in the Hall of Fame? I mean,
is he? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
He is in the Hall of Fame.
319 wins.
There are 4 knuckleballers.
What was his career?
What's your standard for the Hall of Fame?
No, that's my bad.
274 losses.
No, that's my bad. He just pitched forever, and I should know that.
Nickname Nuxty.
Tyler.
If you get that is a
This is Rose. I thought we were gonna dress because yesterday was Halloween, and I ended up being the only one dressing up. Yeah. So according to my calculations, this is very embarrassing.
is a special off-roading, spooky, spectacular Halloween edition because what is scarier than coming back to Columbus, Ohio, the spot where our dear Rose was pepper sprayed? Well, it turns out we actually did find something scarier, something spookier. It's that Rose is the only person dressed up, and she looks certifiably insane because getting pepper sprayed is bad. Being the peak of social embarrassment might be worse.
Great Scott! What do you think I'm dressed as?
Rick from Rick and Morty.
Oh, Rika from Rick and Morty. It could be that, but no.
Dr. Douche.
Doofenshmins. No! What do you think I'm dressed as?
Albert Einstein.
I will take that. I will take Albert Einstein, but no. What do you think I'm dressed as? A Labubu. I don't know what that is.
How would you rate my friend Rose's costume here?
Einstein is 10 out of 10.
Not Einstein.
MC or M equals MC square or E equals MC square. I remember that back in high school. Go Bucks! Go Bucks! Go Bucks! And we just got to remember that if it wasn't for Einstein, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't have the technological advancements to be here.
World War II.
We might have, if anything, we might not be defending the shoe. You know what I mean? Instead without him, you know?
Yeah, that was lovely. She's not dressed as Einstein.
Oh, okay, sorry. Just a crazy scientist, I'm assuming?
Have you seen Back to the Future?
Oh. Yes.
Yeah.
Scott. Yeah.
Something that works. Do you want to come see it?
In our handyman business, we get called out to fix flux capacitors all the time. If it wasn't for Marty McFly and what they did in Back to the Future, I wouldn't be in business, okay? Let me just put it that way. So shout out to Halloween, shout out to Marty McFly, shout out to every scientist that's in America, because if it wasn't for you guys, who knows where I'd be?
How are we doing just sort of mentally right now?
Mentally, I mean, we're trying to just figure out the lay of the land. This is so much different than Penn State. Where's the tailgates? Like, where's the tailgates?
The vibes are a little bad.
Vibes are a little bad. Not even just as a Penn State.
I haven't seen a single 30 rack being carried yet. I'm honestly really disappointed. They don't carry alcohol around here. Where's the alcohol?
Would you say you're the biggest college football fan?
No, I'm just one of millions and millions of Buckeye fans and college fans.
Well, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to award you the biggest college football fan because, yeah.
For me to say that I'm the biggest and the best, that's not for me to say. That's for you to say.
Exactly. So now I'm saying it. So what is a Buckeye?
Man, let me tell you something. The Buckeyes are proud American. And also, we have Buckeye nuts that grow on trees.
Oh, so it's a nut.
Yes.
And is it poisonous?
Well, you already know the answer to the question if you ask it.
OH.
I know.
That's the way we go.
Yes.
This trip to Columbus was presented by Fox One. Stream your favorite live sports on the Fox One app and download today. What's scarier, losing to Penn State today or losing to Michigan again?
Oh, Michigan all the way.
Michigan again. They're mad. 4 years. They haven't won in 2,163 days. This is our second home. We use this as a vacation home. This is Ann Arbor the second.
Do you guys have someone you would like for Penn State to hire as their head coach?
Joe Brady.
Does anyone miss James Franklin out of this crew?
Yes. No comment.
No. Not really. No.
What do you think James Franklin went as for Halloween this year?
Probably himself because he has a big ego.
Unemployed?
Not a costume.
I mean, it's a fact.
What do you think Ryan Day was for Halloween?
Probably Crybaby. One of those big blow-up suits, Crybaby.
When we go, we don't need Rose.
Who's the scariest team in college football that's not Ohio State?
Oregon.
Indiana.
They're good.
They're good.
They're real good.
They're real good. Kirk Signetti.
He's the man.
Google him.
Google him.
If you want to go to a college football game, maybe even a UNC game, download the Game Time app and use code Lucy for $20 off your first order. Terms apply. It's spooky.
Days and 2 hours. We're going to be there.
Dan, given the number of firings that I have been a part of recently, I was a little worried about credentials for this one. But I was like, no worries, we'll go to Columbus, we'll have a good time. I tried to walk into the stadium, they have this hanging up. They have this hanging up. Thank God they picked such a pretty picture of me. But guess they want to keep Ryan Day around here. All the gates are locked and they won't let me in. Because what, I'm too pretty? That's not cool. Because what, I might get your head coach fired? What do you think's going on in there? I feel like I'm being bullied. maybe discriminated against for being too funny. Is it because I'm wearing white? Do you think they're not letting me in because they saw how Rose was dressed? Michigan would never. Well, it turns out Penn State did need James Franklin to lose to Ohio State. They could do it with an interim, too.
We welcome in Lucy, who's heading to Boone, North Carolina Thursday night for App State's matchup with Georgia Southern. A little good FCS.
I love
action.
Boone, North
No,
Carolina.
they're FBS.
Oh, they FBS?
Yep, group of 5 action.
It's one of the best towns in the country.
You still going group of 5? I call it group of 6 now, Lucy.
Oh, I always call it group of 5. I still
Okay.
call it Power 5, even though I know that's wrong.
All right.
Now, what do you know, Zaz?
I'm a college football expert. What's the matter with you?
He does. He flies every weekend and sometimes rides a bus.
No, it's one time.
Lucy, how long was that picture of you folded up in your pocket? Because it was so creased.
Well, we did like a bit where we were like trying to throw it at me, so it looked like it was like blowing through the wind, and it went so poorly, so we had to like crumble it up into a ball like 6 or 7 times, and the bit didn't even work, didn't even make the video.
I love it. All right, so Lucy, we've got the college football playoffs about to be
tonight.
They're going to
First
release
rankings.
the first rankings, and they made a big dog and pony show out of releasing this video of them hanging their hats. And so this sparked great controversy and conversation in the office. We were like, doesn't that mean that they're going to be partial?
Right,
Because
because you'd think that they would be putting their team hats on the, but no, they are hanging the hats of just the college football playoff logo. So essentially they're saying they're putting aside their
They're hanging
unbiased.
up their neutrality.
Yeah.
Everybody's so old.
Me too.
They all look the same. They all look exactly the same.
How will they know which one was their hat?
Maybe that's a
Good
great
point.
question. Maybe it's like a national anthem type of deal where they're like, we have to show respect for the college football playoff. Like, you can't have your hat on. But yeah, it completely defeats the purpose if it doesn't have their team on it.
Stupid.
Lucy.
And they definitely were all given the hat the day of.
And the hat rack couldn't look older.
Who's got a hat rack anymore?
Do you?
Nobody.
You don't have a hat rack?
No, hell no.
I have a hat rack.
Do you?
Yeah, it's really funky looking.
Do you have hats on it?
I'm so
I have
surprised.
purses on it.
Nice. Purse rack.
A purse rack. There you go.
Lucy, will there be any juicy storyline that comes out of the first college football playoff rankings tonight?
Well, there are 3 things I'm like looking at particularly. One is I really do think there's a chance Indiana's the number 1 overall team. You're going to kind of figure out sort of how they're evaluating this year's sort of like group of teams where Indiana may not look as good eye test wise as Ohio State, even though I don't really agree with that. Indiana has the best one in the country right now with a road win over Oregon. So what are they going to do with Ohio State, Indiana? What are they going to do with Oregon, whose best win is now against Penn State, which is not as good of a win, and you don't really feel as comfortable with that. And then looking at sort of kind of the mess that's the ACC and the SEC right now. Do you rank Tennessee, who hasn't beat anybody? Where do you put Miami after losing this weekend? I think we'll get a lot of questions answered. This was always one of my favorite days because like everyone gets so mad, and it actually really does matter. We're like the AP poll, I'm just mad at it for no reason.
Lucy, what is America's fascination with Vanderbilt?
I think it's just like I don't want to call them lovable losers because they're not losers anymore. They're winning. I think there's just this sort of like, this is a team that was so bad for so long. And you bring in Diego Pavia, who has this great story of he went to a military college and then he went to New Mexico State and now he's at Vanderbilt and he's come in and he's striking the Heisman pose. And you saw them this weekend, obviously lose against Texas, but play incredibly competitively, coming back from down double digits to be inches away from recovering an onside kick. That stuff never used to happen to Vanderbilt. I think it's weird to me that sort of like fascination hasn't necessarily, I think, hit the same with Indiana, who's also as historically bad as Vanderbilt, if not worse. But I think it's because Indiana is so dominant and it's just so confusing because like we don't really like, there's sort of an SEC bias with it. But I think it's just, this is a team that was so bad for so long. To see them win is really exciting.
Which fans will be angry tonight, Lucy?
Oh, that's a good question. I think Ohio State fans will be angry because I think they're going to put Indiana number 1.
I'm curious to see what happens. I think some SEC fan bases are going to be really, really angry. I don't think it's going to be Alabama, and I don't think it's going to be Georgia. But I think, and obviously not Texas A&M, but I think that the SEC right now for me is a very difficult conference to evaluate because I think Mike Ryan, you'll appreciate this. The SEC and the ACC are very similar in the way they're beating each other, but there's a different narrative with both of those conferences. And so for me, I think the SEC is obviously going to get the benefit of the doubt, and you might see teams like Tennessee, who has not beat anybody at all, find their way in a good position when they probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I've been on the SEC thing for quite a while, but I want to turn my attention over to the Big Ten because I don't think enough is made out of how bad the bottom third of this conference is. I think you have one of the more impactful games of the weekend, your Iowa Hawkeyes. If Oregon loses this game, the national narrative needs to be they're out. Yeah. They need to stack wins. Their best win right now is who? Northwestern? This is the second consecutive year, and credit to Indiana because no arguments there. They've done more this year, but they found a way. They found the hack inside that conference, which is don't really play anybody, and if you get 1 to 2 losses, you're in that discussion. Whereas Oregon, really soft schedule this year, incredibly soft. So what do you think happens this weekend, and what do you think the conversation should be around the Big Ten?
One, I know that me personally, I'm going to be miserable because this game is already ruining my life because I really think Iowa's going to win. And when they don't win, it's going to kill me. This is like a playoff elimination game of some sorts for Oregon. Iowa, theoretically, if they win out the rest of the season, they should be in the playoff. They probably will be in the playoff. That's a stretch that I'm not really ready to take mentally and emotionally quite yet. Yeah, if Oregon loses this game, which, by the way, this is a very, very weirdly good Iowa football team. They're scoring a lot of points. Their defense looks phenomenal. Like, if they lose, it's not a bad loss. But Oregon, I do believe they still have Washington and USC left on the schedule. Those are two teams that could really sort of help your case. I think we're sort of in a little SEC bias mode again. We're like Washington, Iowa. These are teams that probably should be getting a little more praise than they are. So nationally, they don't look as good of wins as they could possibly be, but they are really good wins. But I do think that if Oregon loses this weekend, it's over for them. And it's another team that you look at and objectively what you've said, it's true. It's hard to evaluate how good they are because the only real example we have is them losing by 2 touchdowns to Indiana. Iowa did not lose like that. Iowa was a couple plays away from beating Indiana had their quarterback not gotten hurt. So, it's hard to evaluate this game. All I know is that I'm doing mentally really, really poor about it. It's ruining my life.
Keeping it in the Big Ten, Lucy, am I looking at it properly where Michigan, Ohio State, last game of the season is potentially to get to the Big Ten championship?
I don't necessarily. Yes, I think it would be because I don't know who else would be in that conversation. It wouldn't. I think Michigan's got a pretty easy schedule, but I still don't think they're as great as they're kind of being heralded as. So if they were to lose another one, it wouldn't shock me. But yeah, this is almost a de facto playoff elimination game. Which is so awesome, especially given just sort of the narrative of you cannot lose to them for a 5th straight year, especially with this Ohio State team, which is just as good as last year's Ohio State team. It's going to be so much fun.
Let's talk about the Miami upset over the weekend. Miami, once again, sitting at 2 losses, both by less than a score. Understandably, today, I saw Heather Dinich speak on this. She fully expects Notre Dame to be ranked ahead of Miami, even though head-to-head, Miami defeated Notre Dame. A month is an eternity in college football. As we saw with Alabama and Oklahoma last year, there was a really bad loss, and 2 weeks later, everyone's saying, if they're in the tournament, then win the championship. I guess my long-winded question here is, if Miami, I think the hardest thing for them is to actually go 4-0 in the month of November, but if they do, they go 4-0, and they're at a better place at the end of the season, despite not even making it to their conference championship game, the Notre Dame thing is a pickle. Where do you see the CFP
My movie theater sells pickles, dog.
Where do you see the CFP siding on this?
I personally don't love when you're ranking a team that beat somebody else ahead of them. I don't think that Notre Dame should be ranked in front of Miami because what you're telling me is that head-to-head matchups don't matter. Why did you even play that game if it doesn't matter? But doesn't matter what I like. I think that, it's so tough. I think there's so many extra circumstances with Miami where it really does matter of what happens everywhere else. What if Iowa does win out? Weird enough. That's going to hurt Miami. What happens with Georgia Tech after a really kind of tough loss against NC State this weekend, giving up 40 points to the Wolfpack? There are so many extra circumstances, and I just don't see Miami kind of getting the good end of things because, like we sort of talked about, if it comes down to a 2-loss ACC team or a 3-loss SEC team, team, I think we all know what direction they're going to go.
Damn, Georgia Tech. What's Haynes King got to do to win Heisman? He's the Heisman, isn't he? He's the front
I don't know.
He's
I saw this great tweet. I wish I could remember who said it. It's Haynes King is what people think Diego Pavia is. Like Haynes King is running out every Saturday, and he's like, "I'll die for this team.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll do it. You need me to
Little
play
blood in the
linebacker
urine.
because I will."
No big deal.
He's everything. I love him so much, and he should be in this Heisman conversation because he's like maybe the most college football player ever. Like I just love him so much.
Like I know he's got no future. After this,
Amin, you're the Georgia Tech guy on this show. Are you emotionally preparing? Because it seems as though down to the AP and the coaches poll, what everybody is doing is projecting the ACC to fall apart. And I get that. But right now they have 3 one-loss teams, all right, that are pretty good, that have played some SEC teams that you can do transitive property with some of the teams that they beat and the results that those teams that were defeated at the hands of the
Did you say transitive property?
Transitive property. I think that the ACC, look, if the CFP does its job right, they should look at the ACC where it is right now and avoid the whole temptation of, well, they're going to fall apart.
Dude, I think we did them a favor by losing NC State because if we were undefeated, first of all, we've been underranked this whole time. Part of my question about Vanderbilt was a little shade on my part. It's like everyone's falling over Vanderbilt. Like we're better than them, but like the loss to NC State actually makes it easier for them, I feel like, to dismiss.
What's your good win for Georgia?
It's Clemson.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That team sucks.
I mean, they didn't suck when we beat their ass, though.
No, they did, though.
No, not when we beat their ass.
I don't know. They did.
No, when they beat their ass?
Well, then I guess Florida State sucked when Florida State beat Alabama's ass.
Well, let me tell you something. We beat Florida State's ass last year. That started this whole thing.
What is
Then they were good back then.
all right. You know what? Don't answer the question.
No.
Lucy, same question.
Yes.
Well, that Amin's answer was, have you guys seen that tweet that's going viral of like, look at what Alabama did to preseason number 13, South Carolina. And so everyone's just been quote tweeting it with like, look at what we did against 1998 national champion. Like, whatever. It's very, very funny. I can't even remember what the question was.
Beat their ass is the question.
Are they going to project the ACC falling apart and play into narratives? Or are they going to look at the ACC as a whole where it is right now, which has 3 really, really good teams in it?
I think they're not. I don't think they're going to look at the ACC and be like, this is awesome. I think they're going to look at it with the like, wow, we're at this point, and like Duke is in the conversation and Virginia's in the conversation. I don't think they're necessarily going to look at the ACC and be like, I think that Virginia is better than, Ole Miss or anything like that. I assume they're going to look at the ACC with a very, maybe a 4 teams ranked. I don't think they're going to give them much benefit of the doubt at all because, like, I hate to, like, be this way, but, like, they are going to push the SEC more than anything, and then it'll be the Big Ten. The Big 12 is messy as it is. I just think the ACC is going to get the short end of the stick, and I do think part of the reason that plays into it is because I think it would be very different if Miami was in Virginia's spot where, like, they don't want people to be like, yes, Virginia is here. Like, it just doesn't have the same appeal, even though us real ones know that we want to see Virginia do well. We want to see Chandler Morris have a good season.
Chris, I believe it's time.
Time to get in it. It's Lucy's Internet Minute.
Oh, I love that so much. It never gets old. We have a rare college football Internet Minute that I'm excited to talk to you guys about. We've all seen the Oklahoma kicker, right?
Uh-huh. I don't like it.
He is wearing some short shorts.
I love it.
Ridiculous.
People are losing their mind. Kirk Herbstreit was like, I literally thought he was going to.
That's not a football uniform.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
What do you need knee pads for? You're a kicker.
That's
you
a
might have
good
to
point.
tackle somebody.
So
also,
Nice
look.
legs,
So
though.
what's our overall takeaway? I'm fine with it. I think, look, if you want to dress a little slutty for your football game, go for it.
Yeah, I hope that this
Amen.
is telling and probably fashion forward and where the sport is going. I really hope for this.
I've seen wide receivers do it. I've seen tight ends. I've seen corners do it. Like, everybody's starting to do it. So
They
this
wear
kicker's not the
socks,
first.
man.
No, not like that. You've never seen it, buddy. You don't see everything.
I see everything.
You don't see everything.
I see. We already did this
I can
yesterday.
guarantee you don't see everything.
We already did this. I see everything. I watch everything.
What happened to the
Sorry for
barefoot
bringing this
kicker?
up. My bad.
Greg Cody, did you not kick your 50-yard field goal barefoot?
I did, yeah.
What about in short shorts?
Yeah. I think those shorts should be even shorter.
Okay.
I mean, why stop there?
Oh,
ride them
Go a
up.
little
Let's
5-inch
go.
inseam.
That's been Lucy's Internet Minute.
You guys are so horny for college football. It's great.
It's new to me, Lucy. This horniness is new to me. I haven't felt it in like 15 years, 25 years maybe. Yeah.
Haynes King will do that to you.
Oh,
Haynes
man.
King is the
Haynes
exact guy to
King.
do that to you.
Blackest name for a white
It is,
quarterback ever.
it is cute you think Georgia Tech's good.
I mean,
What?
They are good.
I think Georgia Tech's good.
They are good, but their resume, when you really like hold it under a microscope,
You line them up, we knock them down. How about that for a resume?
I have a take.
Yes?
I feel like nobody's resume is good. Like, nobody's resume is good.
I'll allow it.
Like, tell me the good resumes. Hit me.
Yeah, I mean, you could go Alabama with wins over Vanderbilt,
Texas
Mizzou,
A&M.
Georgia, obviously Texas A&M, but it's also funny that Alabama has, like, right now what might be the worst loss, which is, like, objectively really funny. A&M has a good resume.
That's about it.
Ohio State's undefeated. You only play who you have on your schedule. Like, I
Line
feel
them
like
up, we knock them
Oh, and
down.
Ohio State's schedule is like there's nothing left.
I'm sick of this Big Ten. How many years are teams going to get away with this?
They can't keep getting away
They
with
can't. Like, and it's just like, well, we'll have 3 lost teams in there. We deserve it. That is our birthright because we expanded and added a whole bunch of shitty teams. F out of here. What
New
is
rule.
this?
If you have a number in the name of your conference, the number has to reflect the number of teams in your conference.
Good take.
Enough.
I second that.
Big Ten?
I get behind that.
Better tell some of these teams to get out of here.
Says the guy with an ACC team with 2 teams in the Pacific Coast.
That's not
But
numbers.
again, no numbers.
That's not numbers.
Atlantic Coast Conference, but Pacific.
They're all coasts.
And Texas.
I was in Texas in an ACC game.
Sad stadium, by the way.
Still a
16
coast down there.
teams in the Big 12.
Galveston? Ever heard of Galveston?
Last question. They cheated, right? The refs cheated in Dallas. They cheated. They
Did
cheated.
you guys see the Clemson Duke call at the end?
Yes, that was brutal.
That was insane.
What happened to the Gators was unfortunate. There's a lot of bad officiating. I got my eyes on Al Riveron. I got my eyes dead on Al Riveron.
It's been a rough year. We went to that Auburn-Georgia game where the officials were so bad they literally had to fire the crew after the game. They're not allowed to ref anymore.
Damn.
Speaking of fired in Auburn, who do you like there? Summerall? Getting a lot of Summerall juice.
Yeah, I think that's where I would go if I were Auburn, but my whole thing is I think that's a smart decision, and because I think it's a smart decision, I know Auburn's not going to make that. There's no way Auburn makes that call. Like, I just don't trust that school to do anything. Hugh Freeze, bad idea from the jump. They hired him because he beat Nick Saban twice, and Nick Saban retired, and there was no point to having Hugh Freeze there.
I definitely think they should hire Summerall just so we can hear him say, Gannon, steps back.
Gannon.
I always thought it was Cannon.
Yeah, it was Gannon.
Yeah, it was
Steps
incredible.
back.
No relation, right?
No relation to Gannon and Don Cannon. Or are you talking about the Summeralls? My bad.
Where is Don Cannon right now?
I don't know. Ask Pat Summerall.
We need to find Pablo Torre finds out. Where's Don Cannon?
Lucy is going to be in Boone, North Carolina Thursday night for App State matchup with Georgia Southern. Lucy, thank you very much. There she goes. There she goes again. Yes, Jeremy.
In
you raised
3
your hand.
starts with the Arizona Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett has completed 65% of his passes, thrown for 850-plus yards, thrown for 6-plus touchdown passes, rushed for a touchdown. The only other NFL quarterback to do this over his first 3 starts with a team was Kurt Warner with the Rams in 1999.
And we all know how that ended.
Greg, don't look so shocked.
You remember how that
Don't
ended?
look so shocked, Greg.
I mean, are we still on Jacoby Brissett?
We are.
He's had 3 seasons where he started more than half of the games. Never had a passer rating above 88.
Kurt Warner was bagging groceries, Greg.
Yep.
Good point.
Look,
And you know what he did after that? He bagged the Super Bowl.
you know what happens when you let a career backup be your starter?
Go on.
Geno Smith happens. It's just
Oh,
it
I was
going
going
to
to say Tom Brady happens, but to each his own.
That's an anomaly. That's the
Geno Smith was a starter
the exception
for
to the
several
rule.
years.
The rule is if you're a career backup and all of a sudden you become a starter, you remind people why you were a career backup.
Agreed, Greg. But we can all admit Kyler Murray is kind of on the downslide of what we thought he was going to be. Like, in his prime, he should be a quarterback that should be dealing, running around, throwing touchdown passes, and he just doesn't seem to be doing that at the rate that we thought he was going to be.
Ceiling is still so much higher than
Doesn't
Brissett.
mean not know the
Sure.
definition of a career backup.
Career backup.
He wasn't a career backup.
Yes, he was.
He was the Orange Bowl MVP. I know he split time
We're
with
not
Drew
counting
Henson.
college.
Well, then what are you counting? Because
His
he was a
NFL
backup for
career.
like 6 weeks.
It was his second year.
So that was his career up to that point.
I mean,
Good
it's
He
not
is
point.
right
wrong.
about that. It was his career up to that
entire
point.
career.
And then they started him, and the rest is history. Same thing here.
So Shadur Sanders starts at one point this season for the Browns. Was he a career backup?
Yeah, so far his career is a backup.
I don't like this game.
So if you don't start your first career game, you're a career backup.
As you're sitting, you know what you are? You're sitting. There's a guy. There's a QB1. You know what that makes you?
There is
backup. How long has your career been? What have you done in your career? You ever start? No. Guess what you are?
Mac Jones started as a starter.
It's
not
all right.
Not a career backup.
It's really fine to admit when you're wrong. Like
Wrong
Miami's
about
not
what?
as good as I thought they were, and Tom Brady wasn't a career backup. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why we have to hold on to this.
How do you not understand?
It's
the
actually
logic?
liberating when you're like, you know what? My bad. Had that one wrong.
What do you think I thought? You think I thought that Tom Brady was bouncing around the league and then all of a sudden got a shot?
No, I think you
Is that
thought
what
he was probably in
think?
the league for several years.
That's what I think.
Several years?
Yeah. That's what I think.
How many years was he in the league?
His whole career?
When he was a backup.
Don't turn this on him.
When he was a backup, like 18 games.
So more than one season?
Yes.
More than 1 year?
Yes.
Hey, Tony, what happens when you have a year and then you have more than
2
it?
years.
It's called years.
Yeah.
Years as a backup.
Jeff
career
Hostetler
backup.
did win a Super Bowl.
The last two Cardinals quarterbacks with 200-plus passing yards, passing touchdowns in 3 consecutive games. Jacoby Brissett, Carson Palmer. Kyler's never done it.
Who's missing there, Greg? This is not a pro Jacoby Brissett conversation. It is an anti Kyler Murray conversation.
And there's also an English language conversation for some of the people.
Exactly. Thank you.
For some of the people.
What is true is that
Not for
there's
me.
a level of franchise quarterbacks where you think it's a franchise quarterback and the jury is still out. Tua's one of those guys.
Nah.
Kyler Murray's one of those
Jury
guys.
made their decision there.
You think?
Yeah.
Journey did.
Last few games.
Journey did think
All right, let's go
they
home
said
to
don't
your
stop
families.
believing.
We don't want to deliberate anymore. Bailiff?
Champ Bailiff.
To that point, though, it feels like Kyler Murray should be in some of these stats, and he's not.
Who has-
So a pedestrian guy like Jacoby Brissett can go in and make those stats happen, where Kyler Murray cannot? Like, how are we still having this
If
conversation?
you take the contracts away from it, who has less value right now, Kyler or Tua? And I know
To take the contracts away,
Tua.
that's a big thing.
Because at least Kyler Murray can run around and make plays. Tua can't. Kyler Murray absolutely has more value.
Does he have more value?
I don't know about I would dispute
A
that.
lot more value.
No, we're just taking the contracts out of it.
Yeah,
He has a lot more value.
a lot more
Really?
value.
Yes.
He's a better player.
He's not a
you're
hit
saying.
away.
Yes.
Yep.
He's not a hit away. That's one thing. I mean, everybody's a hit away, but not in the way that Tua is. And he's more dynamic.
I don't
He's
know.
got an arm that's way more live.
He's much better than Tua.
Are we like
Both
we're
can't see
sure
over
that
the line.
Tua's lost it? He'll never get it back. That's what
right.
we're saying.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're washed.
Yeah.
You're already
I-
calling it.
I don't agree.
I think
Judge
he's-
Zaz?
I think he's
He's
toast.
washed?
I said he was washed weeks ago.
Yeah, he's toast. I think he's toast.
Now Kyler Murray may not be very good, but he's not washed.
It's not
Correct. I think Kyler Murray has certainly way more of a chance to make something of himself in the NFL. And I'm not even in on how we're talking about him. I don't think he's shown you that he's a complete bust just yet.
I feel like this is a classic. Better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. Right? Tua was actually great at one point. But you're
So was
saying
Kyler. Kyler, that
was he
rookie
great?
season, everyone's like, they freaking nailed it.
His peak was never
Kingsbury
as high
was
as
so
Tua's.
right to get Rosen out of
Tua's
there.
peak was probably higher than
It's
Murray's best
much
season
higher.
so far.
Much higher.
Yes.
Yeah,
Much more
yeah.
accurate.
Kyler
yeah.
never led the league in
No,
passing.
Tua had an amazing year.
His
2
peak
seasons ago.
is undeniably higher. But Kyler hasn't been scrambled eggs, so that's what puts him on average better. But even then,
Kyler made the playoffs his rookie year. Everyone was like, wow, they nailed that.
I feel hesitant to just declare that Tua's done.
You shouldn't.
Well,
Nobody should.
Well, if you want to be accurate.
I don't think the Dolphins are declaring that yet.
Well, clearly they're not.
Right.
Yes or no? We see Quinn Ewers, though.
You heard Diana say that there's dispute within
she
the
say?
franchise about whether or not they want to move on with him, meaning some people still believe in him.
Oh, no, I took it the other way. Like what Diana was saying there made it sound like they are kind of close to done with Tua.
Well, I think if you replay the tape, she also said there's debate within the franchise.
Right, but that would be the
about him.
first time that you've heard that
Right, he's
before. So
saying-
that would mean we're trending in the wrong direction.
If there's debate,
I mean,
whereas
he
the-
leads the league in interceptions. Of course, you're going to be down on him when a quarterback of a 2-7 team has 11 picks. He's having a lousy year. 2 years ago, he made the Pro Bowl. I'm not ready to give up on the guy.
Greg, do you think is there a possibility for Tua to have success somewhere else? Like in that sense that let's say they do give up on him. Would
Like
you
a Sam Darnold situation.
Would you fear a Sam Darnold situation? with
Yeah,
Tua?
I would think he has trade value somewhere. I don't think you're going to get 3 first rounds for him, or even 2. But I think he has trade value.
You'd be lucky if you got a 5th-round pick for him.
Oh, that's
the way they're
insane.
prognosticating is you got to give picks away to get him off the roster and get him to somebody else's team.
So you think you think he's less valuable to a team that needs a quarterback than Jalen Phillips?
You also got to remember, like, there's a money situation. We're talking about trade. You
Right.
can't then say all things equal. No, all things are not equal. Like,
Right.
you have to take the money. They'd be lucky to get a 5th.
You would have to-
Jalen Phillips doesn't make any money right now.
You'd have to eat some money because they ate some of Jalen's money to get that 3rd-round pick. I think to get anything for Tua, you'd have to eat a lot of money.
You would have to see him as a franchise quarterback.
They'd be lucky to get Jacoby Brissett because the Cardinals' passing offense with Jacoby Brissett, 287 yards per game, 2 touchdowns per game, 25.7 points per game. With Kyler Murray, just 192 yards per game, 1.2 touchdowns per game, and 20.6 points per game.
The plot seems to be Kyler Murray is not that good.
We've lost the plot.
Like, it seems to be that's the plot. Here we go.
All right, so let's talk about something completely different. Steve Ballmer getting sued, baby.
Thank you. Finally. All right, this is look, there's a lot of news stories out there. We chewed on the John Moran thing, but Steve Ballmer getting sued by, what was it, 11 people from Aspiration?
Well, 11 investors in Aspiration. Mike, this is what I'm going to say. So, yeah, the basic gist of it is, let me just, for the people who don't know, obviously Aspiration is the company that was paying Kawhi Leonard allegedly under the table, some cap circumvention stuff. There's a lot of evidence that Pablo Torre finds out has uncovered. I'm part of that investigation, so I guess I could say I'm going to uncover some of it too. But anyways, even as Aspiration was crashing, Steve Ballmer and other Ballmer surrogates were funneling money to the company, keep it afloat, simply to continue to make the payments to Kawhi Leonard. So
wouldn't that also kind of prove Mark Cuban's point originally, right? Where where you don't want the company to go bankrupt because then everything, it's
comes
house of
out.
cards at that point.
So it proved Mark Cuban's point that proved Pablo's point.
Right.
Yes. So that's the story. And then last night we get the update that Steve Ballmer is being sued by people who are investors in Aspiration. And the basic gist of it is we saw Ballmer's infusion in cash as a stamp that everything's on the up and up.
A lifeline almost.
Not as a lifeline, but this is a real thing that we're right to invest in. And then to find out literally through Pablo's reporting that no, all that was basically a clearinghouse to pay Kawhi, they feel like they've been defrauded because it was not an up and up. They were committing fraud, basically. And so they're suing Steve Ballmer for that. And the first thing I thought when I heard Pablo talk about it and I read through the lawsuit, I said, this is the most brilliant lawyer ever because they know they've got Steve Ballmer against the ropes with this situation.
There's two options, right? Like either Ballmer pays or they go to Discovery, right?
Yes, exactly. And if you go to Discovery, now everything that we've talked about, like, it wasn't cap circumvention, I was framed, and all that gets entered in, and now you're really in trouble. So, I just think it's brilliant, but it's also like a cash grab.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Does it feel like it's going from instead of salary cap circumvention to now wire fraud and fraud of other sorts for Steve Ballmer?
So up until this point, it hasn't been a criminal conversation, right? The whole
does this make it? Is my question.
I'm not as informed from the SEC and that level of it, but we do know that Joe Sandberg, who's also being named in the lawsuit, has been investigated, right, and has been charged and taken a trial over this. So there are criminal aspects to this case, Greg. But the Clippers, up until this point, have always been like, oh, no, this is an NBA story.
Yeah.
And now it becomes a court story.
Yeah, I think that Steve Ballmer probably is going to try to settle this out of court, which is going to be incriminating to him, I think, on its own merit. I think
the NBA will still be like, it doesn't prove anything.
I know, but that's a problem. I don't think the Pablo Torre finds out report, I think it's been maligned, meaning unfairly criticized or not taken seriously enough. And I think this lawsuit against Ballmer is sort of going to force Ballmer's hand. If you see him settle out of court, that's incriminating.
Yeah, I think it's going to force him to settle,
I know,
because there's no way this goes to Discovery.
Okay,
if this goes to Discovery, they're doing the NBA's job for them, and we already saw how the NBA panics when someone does their job for them.
Never get to that.
Greg, the big thing is I'd rather people think I'm guilty than to remove any shadow of a doubt that I'm guilty.
And the NBA, look, if he settles, the NBA is really the NBA is going to look and be like, all right, it doesn't prove anything.
No, exactly. Well, it's Greg's right. People are going to be like, oh, they had to settle. That means they had something to hide. People are going to say that, but that is more advantageous of a position to be in than for them to, we're going to take it to court, and then everything comes out, and it's like.
Absolutely.
So.
No, the lawsuit was filed as a money grab. There's no doubt about it. But if you're the NBA and you see Ballmer settling that out of court rather than facing discovery, that's pretty incriminating.
No, yes, on the outset. But
I think the NBA is going to say it's pretty
thank
substantial.
God. The NBA,
NBA is rooting for that. Probably advising him on the side.
Right.
Most billionaires don't want to go to discovery for anything.
They don't want,
whether they did it or not.
But more than anything, the league doesn't want this, right? The league's best interest, obviously, I'm not saying that they're going to subvert the investigation that they're doing. But the best interest of the league is to find out that, there was no cap circumvention.
Right.
To find out there was this massive cap circumvention thing would be a huge black eye. So if discovery is withheld and this guy settles out of court and then they can't find anything corroborating on their side, it's a little bit of a, oh, thank God, rather than, oh, no. You almost don't want to find out.
Well, from day one, the NBA wanted this whole thing to go away and ignore it.
Adam Silver said, I've never heard of aspiration. And in the words of Maury Povich, we found out that also was not a truth.
Fraud.
Not a truth. There you go. Shout out to Sid Cicero.
Fraud.
Oh, man, I miss him. We should have him on again.
Kyler Murray has hit 260-plus passing yards and 2+ passing touchdowns just twice since Jonathan Gannon became head coach. Jacoby Brissett has done it in 3 of 3 starts this year.
You know what that makes him? It makes him a fraud.
Fraud.